insane.
Well, you're kind of correct, but it's first of all, there's few things. Okay, I know people said not so nice things about George Floyd. Now, especially in the days after George Floyd, if I would make a video, it's like, I'm so glad that piece of shit is dead or something like that, and I was working somewhere, I was gonna get fired. If I was celebrating his death, totally would get fired. They don't need employees bringing drama or having, causing potential customers or current customers to think a certain way about them. They would just tell me to fuck off and pack my shit. So you absolutely would get fired if you made fun of the death or celebrated the death of George Floyd.
You are moving a goalpost. There are many people who made fun of George Floyd that didn't. That many students that didn't get kicked out of college. Many employees that didn't get fired. Stop fucking lying.
This is the difference. This is the difference, Friday. It's the reason why.
It ain't no fucking difference.
Jose, you can't keep coming in hot, man. We having a conversation, bro. Like, follow the conversation. You can say your piece, but you gotta pick your punches, man.
So Candace Owens...
No, we not gonna say what you want us to say because you want us to say it. Just chill, man. Have a conversation.
Candace Owens would never get the kind of reaction to her death as Charlie Kirk because she wasn't on a political track like Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was the conservative Republican Trump MAGA golden boy who was sent to galvanize the youth, right? To stray away from quote unquote leftist agenda and politics and come to the right side. But even though he was hypercritical of Israel before, he had to clean it up. Why? Because you need AIPAC money and you need to support Israel to be on the political track, especially towards presidency, which he was under Trump. Candace Owens and the Nick Fuentes of the world are hypercritical of Israel. So they exist in a whole nother subculture of the right, but they can never get on the political track. Why? Because they would never get AIPAC money. They're considered anti-Semitic and they're hypercritical of Israel. That's the difference.
No, I understand that. I'm talking about just the ordinary person that's losing their job, even a Marine who just got like court-martialed or some shit. I can guarantee you if he said those same exact things about Candace Owens, it wouldn't be that much, it wouldn't be so egregious as it was for Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, but DJ, you're saying that, right?
But predict yourself. Why would you wish death on Candace Owens? I don't understand. Why would you do that?
I mean, the fact
Why would you do that?
You're not wishing death on her. Hold up, tell me, you're not wishing death on her. You're just making an analogy.
The fact that you just
It's an analogy. She's alive.
the fact that you just pulled that out the
Why is that a stupid analogy?
Hey, but DJ, the thing is that black people don't even support Candace Owens. So where's the outcry? Who would be outcrying for Candace Owens? No, what are you talking about? Like, black people cannot fucking stand Candace Owens. So who would have Candace Owens back? Like, you can't.
That's not what he said, Notorious. He was compared to right wing. They wouldn't have the same reaction if Candace was smoked. That's what he said.
Based off of what the person is doing for the country or for other people is going to determine the impact. It's going to determine how many people are going to be behind it. Those people, many of those people didn't get fired. You know what they got? They got fucking educated. That's what they got. Okay. Let me tell you guys why black people need to look to Candace Owens right now. She is a national treasure. I'm gonna tell you why. She has transcended the petty politics of black on black crime and what's going on wrong in the black community into the real fight, which is American blind support for Israel. Right?
Why the fuck are you making this about Israel? Jesus Christ.
Listen, trafficking women. That. And now I'm going to tell you why. Now I'm going to tell you why.
No. Othello, you have a problem with Epstein, but you don't have a problem with Andrew Tate, right?
Alpha, you don't have the range for this.
Someone
you already know what you're talking about.
You don't have the range.
I mean, Othello, do you know it can be very annoying having people like try to center Israel when we're talking mainly about just domestic shit and just like America. But it's also very annoying when people, just because they don't like them, have to fucking center them.
No, I'm not centering Israel. I'm centering American support for Israel. That's what I'm saying.
But that's not what this is about.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
You're allowed to say, I can say fuck Israel. I can say whatever I want about Israel. I'm fine. I'm not losing my job. I'm perfectly fine. So that's not even, there's not even a freedom of speech issue with them currently.
We're talking about someone got killed over what supposedly they said, right, Othello? We're not talking about Israel.
Yeah, the whole thing that Candace Owens talked about last night, and the whole thing, the real issue why Charlie Kirk died, right, is because of his
No, there's no evidence.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a fucking conspiracy theorist, dude.
Yep.
She makes all kinds of unfounded claims.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one person. There's nothing there. Can we
Yep.
just keep moving?
So why are you trying to hide it? So Matt, why hide it?
What do you mean
Okay,
why
I want to
hide
think
it?
what DJ.
What do you mean
Why are you
why
trying to
hide it? That's
hide
like saying somebody says something stupid and you don't want to listen to it, then you turn around and say,
Yeah, you guys are trying to hide it because you're trying to make it. You rather
No, this is retarded.
see left versus right. You rather see your own country going to civil war.
All right, so
the nerds.
you know what? I'll give you the response. I'll give you the fucking response. I'll just post it in the goddamn chat. Jesus Christ, this is fucking retarded.
Yeah, China just.
So both Bill Ackman. Okay, shut the fuck up.
China
You can go
said
to.
we betrayed the world. America.
Shut the fuck up.
Betrayed the world. China said today.
Shut up.
They said
You can
America
go
and
to
Israel
Seth
betrayed the
Dillon's.
world.
Okay, dude, shut the fuck up. You can go to Seth Dillon's Twitter
Seth
right
Dillon.
now. But that's the guy. That's what the show was all about. It was about Bill Ackman and Seth Dillon. She wanted to know what happened. Seth Dillon gave his detailed account of what he was communicating with Charlie Kirk about, and I didn't read Bill Ackman's response. Look, dude, at this point, it's hearsay, and even she said she does not know what happened with Seth Dillon and Bill Ackman. It was completely speculative. She admitted that. Nobody fucking knows, and now you have Seth Dillon, who was there, who's saying that what she was implying happened, during that retreat or whatever in Connecticut did not happen. So there's nothing to go on here. Like holy shit.
Yeah, like Candace Owens was doing pretty good at first. She's actually pretty intelligent, but she's now just becoming what she's doing.
You know what's funny? Dennis just turned
she's
to
evolved. She's evolved.
Well, hold on.
Shapiro said, go kick rocks.
Yeah,
She's evolved.
she was doing good, and then now she's just becoming irrelevant because what she's trying to do is get likes and attention and stay valid on social media, and that's a problem.
No, she was doing good when she was down at black people. Now she's transcended and gone to
No, she
another
wasn't
level.
down
And
in black people.
You can't
She was calling out
resonate
some
with her.
She was calling
evolved.
She was down with black people?
The
She's
black
evolved.
community, and this is what bothers me.
Notorious, you just
So
making
white
shit up.
people can't talk about it. Black people can't talk about it. Nobody can talk about
She's
it.
evolved.
Dude, Notorious is a fucking moderator, guys. Shut the fuck up while he's speaking. You guys are so fucking rude.
He ain't making no sense, Pepe. I'm just saying.
On God.
Well, we know who they are. They can't control themselves, so we just allow them.
Yeah, because he's trying to push a left
see
versus
that?
right agenda, and nobody's falling for the bullshit.
Look at them. Look at them.
Yeah, nobody falling for the bullshit. They laughing at y'all.
Notorious. It's always so revealing when you come off from the goo and speak, because it illuminates how dumb you are. Yeah, and you continue to impress me with your dumbness.
Bro, ML, why don't you add something intelligent to the conversation? That's all you ever do.
DJ Fridays. DJ Fridays. I agreed with you a while ago.
He can.
I agreed with you a while ago.
ML, why don't you tell us about your nice house and your nice neighborhood and bowl, and about how dumb people are? That's all you ever talk about.
Notorious,
Tell us
you
about
are
your
dumb.
nice house, bro, and how you living well,
Hey.
bro, and how you doing good.
Hey, I can't complain, bro. Life's good.
He's
But
up.
anyway,
He's up. Okay, guys, go back to your left versus right agenda. Okay, in the audience.
I know. But the point here being is that when you guys, it's okay to try to make a point. But the fact is that you guys always lie when you guys try to make a certain point. To try to make your point sound more plausible. And that is what it's so revealing about you guys. Is why should you do that? DJ Friday's go and you prove it. Someone needs to do it. Bro, can you go get one of those GLP drugs so you could lose 50 pounds so you don't die in the next 5 years?
You just
Bro,
did it again.
your fat ass need to go and move. So the point of it, hold on, shut the fuck up. For one, Free a while ago they said that Colin Kaepernick, whatever his name is, he did not he could have come back to the NFL. No, he was blackballed. That's why he sued the NFL and he won. The NFL blackballed him. He was not, and he said that there were not any conservatives protesting against him. The fucking president was protesting against him.
Who are you talking about, Mel?
Colonel Patrick. What's his name again? How you pronounce his last name?
I fucking can't even say a fucking
Kaepernick. Yes, I forgot his name. I don't watch football that much.
That's a very
Colin,
simple name to say.
okay, DJ Friday, why are you interjecting when I'm actually speaking? Are you? Can you control yourself?
The same thing you did every time I was speaking.
Hey, Notorious, it's well deserving when you get it because you don't make any sense. I'm trying to help you out. Come on, how you doing? How are the kids doing?
Dude, you're not fucking up my stage like you did yesterday, so dude, like really make your goddamn point and hurry the fuck up.
Pepe, I never fuck your stage up. I make
Hurry up, make your fucking point.
Mel, you're back here
You
with
got-
us again. We're ignorant and sick. We're pieces of shit, useless losers, right? But you're back here.
You guys are entertaining. You guys are entertaining.
you
So
aren't.
that's it.
Just get
That's
on
good.
with whatever it was.
I'm-
you
Hi,
said.
bud. I missed you.
So why do you keep interrupting me then, man? How am I
Well,
supposed
that's
to
fine. I love you.
interrupt me?
Everyone. So just hurry up and get it out. Please be quiet, y'all. So
Hey,
we
bring
just have to
me
keep
up,
starting
man.
over.
Okay, before I was really interrupted. So the point here being is that when I would just beg you guys when you guys try to make a point, don't lie about your anecdote, your analysis and whatnot. Just basically bring the truth, and people might respect you. But when you guys lie, you guys lose a lot of people. I'm just saying.
Well, just give us an example.
I just forget about no, I said Colin Patrick, whatever his name was.
So you brought that up, and you didn't realize that the companies were the NFL and the football teams. And the NFL, if anything, does not like tarnishing images. That's why it separated some Lewis, Michael Vick, and the notorious others who gotten involved in
Brad, you
bullshit.
missed the main
Secondly,
point.
hold on, I'll let you speak.
Well, you
and then I
missed
can
the
speak.
yes,
Hold
but
on,
missed
you
the
asked
point.
for respect,
You
but
just
you
came
can't
there.
give it, so now don't cry.
ML, let him fucking finish.
So then, when you ask individual owners to bring a mid-tier at best quarterback into their wheelhouse, into their teams when they're trying to fight for the offseason to get much more money to have those kind of players to come around, you had this whole little push that none of the teams really wanted him. And when he refused to go to workouts or to actually showcase what he could and couldn't do, he wanted to do it on his terms as if he was A-level material, which he never was. He was never a fucking... he was never a Warren Moon type caliber quarterback. If you wanted to go down for black quarterbacks, he's never top tier. He was never that good. The team around him was fucking balls deep good. They great running back, great blocking. Fucking that O-line fucking made him look like he could change a diaper on a 2-year-old back there without having to worry to get hit. That's how good he had it. So any quarterback you threw in there, which was proof positive because the San Francisco, the 49ers actually repeated their success. Once you had that kind of protection, it was obviously the team. So he wasn't some skill lever. This is no any of the other ones. Who do you want today? I would go with Josh Allen because I still think he's better than everybody else right now. But this is no Josh Allen you're talking about here.
Brad, nobody was comparing how. Okay, so bad. Brad, nobody was comparing how skilled he was or how unskilled he was. The main point was that, yes, he was blackballed by the NFL. And two, the conservatives did rally against him playing in the NFL. Trump did call those innings. Trump did say he didn't want him to play in the NFL. Trump blackballed him. Trump was the one protesting him. Trump was protesting him. Hold on.
NFL not let him play.
Oh, DJ, really? Trump could make people give him $600 billion. He could make a country give him a plane, but he cannot make the NFL do what he's doing.
I don't know why.
Are you guys
what I don't fucking get is that you get paid an obnoxious amount of money to play a fucking sport. Is something that little boys can only grow up to dream of doing, wearing their fuck form in their fucking arena. Okay, and when you're on the job, I can't, if I'm working somewhere, I don't know there's anywhere that would put up with me just saying, I'm going to sit this out of political protest. I can't do an act of political defiance at any fucking job I've had. Like, who gives a flying fuck? I mean, he was just a narcissistic piece of shit.
Just
I
like
mean,
Trump.
who cares? I don't even know why we shifted on to fucking Colin Kaepernick. Like,
Because ML goofy ass want to do that.
Let me give y'all a real. What's
He
going on?
made that example and he brought it up.
Let me tell y'all something that's
Got hung up on. I was making a point. Got hung up on.
So some of the NFL teams, and there's a whole list of these teams, have refused to have a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. And there ain't shit President Trump can do about it. They've already moved on from it.
they don't have to, and they don't have to. I'm not saying any people should be forced to mourn him. You can say, like, there's a black pastor who went viral. He was giving a sermon, and if I recall correctly, he said it was wrong what was done to him. But he was not a hero or something like that. He was a bad person. He was he just gave his fucking opinion. He didn't condone anything wrong. And so I do not think those kinds of people, should face any kind of like backlash, personally, even though I disagree with them. But as far as the doxing or getting these fucking lefties fired that are celebrating and laughing about the death of Charlie Kirk, who gives a shit? And like I said, if you laughed about the death of a prominent lefty, or anybody really, they'd be like, do you really want this person working for you? And the company's going to say, well, holy shit, this looks bad for us. I don't want to be associated with that. Yep, we're cutting them loose. We don't need the drama. And they would just let you fucking go. They don't need to deal with it. And, that's what's happening to these people. And personally, no, I do not feel bad for them. The left, they have been doing this to right-wingers for so fucking long, and they're only getting canceled for like the most egregious shit that they're saying, like, which is celebrating his death and mocking his death and that kind of shit, not for saying mean things about him.
You know what's funny?
Yeah, they've been doxing and counseling people for the longest. So the hypocrisy on the left is funny. And it's ironic that every time we talk about the left, we always fucking highlight the right. No, fuck that. Let's stay on the left. You guys are full of shit. People get fired when they say ain't shit. We fire people for saying things that we say is so-called anti-black, or think we said the N-word or some shit. The lady who said Naker, she got fired. The lady who said something about Kobe Bryant cheating the armor. The list goes on. So get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear that shit from the left.
Yeah, you guys started this whole cancel culture shit. Who started the cancel culture shit?
Don't you guys
That doesn't mean that the right has to behave the same way that they're behaving.
You guys are literally saying
You're no different than them. You just mad.
No, but DJ, but be consistent. If it's wrong for us, it's wrong for y'all. So they should know what's coming. They shouldn't be surprised or feel some way.
When you were a child, what did your parents tell you? 2 wrongs don't make a right.
But DJ, I will say that,
Right. So therefore, they should have no problem with
we
it.
tried to sit down and talk with them and tried to have an actual discussion. They shot us. So where do you want them to go from there?
Come on, Brad.
There's
Brad,
a
really?
huge difference.
Brad, really? They showed us?
This isn't
Brad, come on.
No. This isn't counseling somebody over their words. Like, you know what I mean? This is actual this is political violence. This is violence. This is like, how else do you, besides us returning the favor, how else do you answer this? This is the way you do it. It's a non-violent way of doing it. That's how you do it.
Don't you think that it's also a big wake-up call, but at a very hefty price, that a man and a father had to die? Remember, you don't have to agree with Charlie Kirk. You don't have to agree. I don't agree with him one bit on a lot of issues. But to advocate for somebody's death and celebrate it, I mean, doesn't that really corrode the very essence of political discourse and what it's about in a democracy?
No, it's about freedom. Look, freedom is scary, bro. Y'all just gotta deal with this shit, man.
But I'm confused.
You're preaching to the preacher. You're preaching to the preacher here. We know that.
Crazy people who took a
Alpha,
gun
hold on.
and
So
other people
Alpha,
for what they say.
but this has been going on for a while. Like this whole silencing. Like some of you may feel a certain type of way about Israel and Gaza, but Jewish Americans weren't able to even go to their classes for the colleges they paid for. We just watched a group of them get firebombed for doing a simple support rally, walking around a mall. Literally old women and men fucking walking in a circle around the mall, and someone decided to take Molotov cocktails and go ahead and just drop it on.
You don't fix the problem by you doing the same thing now that you have the opportunity.
I didn't say we had to do the same thing. I'm just saying. Saying every time conservatives, you just had the guy who was saying hey, I believe in free speech. I want to sit down and have a conversation with you. Went across the country and said, prove me wrong. Sat there, offered his opinion, and had people come up, and you could take as much time as you wanted to have a fucking debate with him. Not only that is, he opened up organizations and chapters so that you could format and facilitate these, quote, discussions that the left wanted nothing to do with. And guess what? He was fucking murdered on live TV, or was in front of his little girls,
by
in front
a
of his
crazy
wife.
kid.
And you know what? Who believes in the same ideology that a lot of these people on the left believe in? So where do
I have a
really?
No, I got real quick. Hold on, stop. Everybody talking about I'm not speaking. Hold on, listen, DJ, real quick. I want to ask you this real quick. I know you got a question, Brad, but listen. I want to ask you something, DJ. I really want to ask this because you seem more logical than the rest of your base. How do we get the left to back off doing this type of shit? Not just celebrating, but even supporting attacks, like calling for violence. How do we get that side to dial it back?
Okay, this is what you do, and it's real simple. We already got things in place for this. If they broke a law, you prosecute. That's it. That's it.
So
you don't have to.
There's nothing magical you have to do.
There's nothing. If they broke,
we already got it in place. No.
If they broke a state or federal law, you prosecute.
It didn't work for Arena.
No, but that's a response. We're talking about preventive. We're talking about talking to your base.
Prosecution, it's a response.
No, preventive. No.
Like
I said, to stop them, not how to respond.
Like y'all can't be little cupcakes all of a sudden.
DJ, this is the problem. Your base keeps supporting this fuck shit, which only advocates for more of it, and that's what you got in it.
So as more of it get done, we build more jail cells.
Wow. So you don't want to fix the problem, you just want to respond to it. Okay.
Who do you want to put in jail for?
That's crazy.
So like I said, if they broke an actual law,
They are breaking a law, but then they're gonna call the right fascist if you put all these motherfuckers in prison for advocating terrorism. This is not freedom of speech. This is advocating and supporting terrorism.
And if
They are putting other people in that list.
And if you can prove that they breaking the law, terrorism.
Listen, everybody look at Matt's
Breaking of law. I prefer Trump's administration does not put these motherfuckers in prison, because then it's kind of like borderline fascism looking. But trust me, this is breaking law. They can put these people in jail, in prison, because it is the law that we cannot support or advocate or call for more terrorism. This is domestic terrorism. Whether you like it or not, whether Otello wants to blame this on Israel or not, this is called domestic terrorism. Somebody was killed because of their political belief. This was a political assassination. It's called domestic terrorism.
So listen, real quickly, look at Matt's PTR and look at all the people who are calling for violence.
Those are not Democrats, so they're just people.
What do you do with
Definitely left wing.
This is what Free's asking. What do you do with people that want the next person to die, DJ?
Say it again.
What do you want to do with the person that is saying, like in my PTR, they want the next person to die? What do you do with these folks? Like, do we live among them? I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, people on Clubhouse want me to die, but I don't advocate them. I don't advocate them to go get arrested because they want me to die. I just pray for these people. I pray that when they leave, when they get in their car right now, a semi truck runs them over. That's all I do.
DJ, I'm gonna say you're full of shit. And I'm gonna tell you why. Listen, no. I'm gonna tell you why you're full of shit. If you have people stalking you, sending death threats, or doing things to really disturb your environment, which happened to Charlie Kirk even beforehand, you wouldn't just sit back and like, well, they failed. No, you want precautionary action. You want preventive measures. You want the police, the law enforcement to actually go and engage them. Go ahead.
Guess what, Free? When you're a public figure. When you're in the public eye and you say inflammatory things, that's what comes with the territory. You just have to
DJ, you're too smart for this. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what the fuck we're talking about, DJ. And this is the problem. We always do this bullshit where you don't want to deal with the situation at hand. We know where No, but that's not what's being disputed, DJ. That's not the fucking argument. We're talking about what to do to fix the fucking problem, and you don't want to address it because you don't want to fix the problem. This is why your base is fucking nuts. There's no problem to be fixed because they like it. Your base is left leaning. Your base is left leaning.
Now everybody on this app know I'm way. Everybody on this, maybe you don't know me, but everybody on this app knows that not to be the truth.
You're not left leaning.
I'm actually fuck. Pepe, am I left leaning?
No, he's
okay.
He's degenerate. He's right leaning.
Yeah, he's
But he
independent on his
hates Charlie
thinking.
Kirk, you know. So he's.
Well, my apologies then. You're right. I didn't know. My apologies. I'll take it back. Okay, fair enough.
Here's my thing. I'm holding the right accountable because I don't like the way my side is behaving now. Because you guys are showing yourself to be no different than the left with this Charlie Kirk thing.
But DJ, again, the right has been offering a hand to the table called the basket of deplorables. They gave a pause. A lot of conservatives actually said, hey, you know what? For the sake of the country, don't go after fucking Hillary Clinton. After his first election. And pushed him to do that. Literally pushed him to do it. A lot of people were upset by this, but it was a large group of his base that said, please, for the sake of the... Don't go after Hillary Clinton. Let's be done with this shit and let's start fixing the problems at hand. We need to fix fucking shit across the board, and we want our energy focused. It got a little fucked up. I'm not going to say it was perfect. There were some great things. There were some bad things, and there were some things that were just left on the table. And then voila, a pandemic. Then we watched the greatest wealth transfer. Then you have this whole Trump was shot at once, and then there was a second attack planned on him. You had an immediate cancel culture that went through removing prominent people and people, quote, associated with January 6th. Because remember, January 6th was the darkest day in the entire country. That apparently surpassing, slavery, Jim Crow, 9/11, Pearl fucking Harbor, all of those other events. Nothing could compare to January 6th per Nancy Pelosi. So no matter what, this was the horrifying day. And people who weren't even in the Capitol, who were just there, had their bank records exposed, given freely by Bank of America, Wells Fargo. They gave it over without even asking for a warrant, without the FBI saying, hey, here you go. They handed that shit right off to the Biden administration. And then they brought in the security net. They expanded the Capitol Police range. They even put a Capitol Police in California next to Nancy Pelosi, which made no fucking sense to me to have a district there. But then they again made all these provisions and then went up there and attacked it. Remember, draped on either side, a Marine on either side, red highlighted backdrop, and Biden going, the most dangerous threat to America is Trump and his supporters. And literally that was called out. Like that speech on primetime TV came up, and Biden said that shit, and guess what? The left ran with that and said it. Remember, they said Catholics were a threat to the country. PTA soccer moms questioning their fucking school boards was fucking accounting to equal to fucking revolution, and we needed to suppress them. This was the left. They did this stuff, and now because of, you know what? I'm not really comfortable with giving the left a pass. I'm comfortable letting these people have that again. They're shooting. They're doing these things. They're cheering it on. They're egging it on. They're wanting it on. For fuck's sake, Kathy Gifford started off holding a Trump-severed head. I mean, where do you want to go? I'm still waiting for people to sit there and go, give me the conservative mainframe. I'm saying that the right will do violence. I'm not saying they're completely innocent. But if we're going to weigh these scales are so heavily weighted in the left side that I'm almost to the point where I don't even want to speak. I don't even care if they're at the table anymore. I really don't care. I don't want them in power. I don't want to hear their thoughts. I don't want to hear their ideas, especially after watching how the left in this country has actually carried itself cheering and saying, let's get rid of all conservatives this way. They wanted the fucking war. Let's give it to them. I'm perfectly okay with it. You want to go bullet for bullet, shot for shot, fist for fist, whatever it is, I'm ready for it. I am.
So Brad, I agree with you, bro. And I like the fact that Charlie Kirk was going on these college tours, deprogramming this leftist agenda out of these college kids, and he was really putting in work on that front. But here's where he crosses the line. When he starts trying to tear down MLK's legacy. And this is a man who, yes, of course he was a flawed man. Everybody's flawed. But the fact that you want to hyper-focus on his flaws versus the fact that this black man, MLK, took a bullet for the love of his people. And you want to tear down his legacy for what? For what? Because I could talk about all the evils of most of the founding fathers. They all had slaves. Andrew Jackson was a fucking murderous psychotic. But we don't talk about that shit because there's no reason.
Because the Democrats on the left don't want to talk about their founding father, which was Andrew fucking Jackson.
So I'm just saying, why tear down a person like MLK, a person who took a bullet because he was trying to free his people, by pointing out the fact that maybe he was a womanizer. Who most famous people are. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're famous, most likely you're gonna be a womanizer. That's just the reality.
Hey, but DJ, wasn't Charlie open for any intellectual to challenge him on his position on ML King, whether you felt like he was wrong or right? But now we can't do that, right? Because the response was to kill him, right? That's the point that we need to make. I don't think people believe everything that Charlie Kirk says. I voted for Donald Trump, okay? A black man, even though I look like a white man, right? I don't agree with every fucking thing Donald Trump says. I know for a fact, though, he's better than those other ones on the other side. I'd certainly rather have him running the country than those fucking loons running the damn country into the ground, right? So we don't agree with everything that everybody says, but he was open for debate, and what did the left decide to do?
And I would submit he took a bullet for freedom. So why can't we do this, DJ? This comparison that your particular leader that you admire bullet for somebody or for a group of people, I suppose, and then I mean, I don't think it's that far fetched to be able to make those kind of claims.
Yeah, and look, because Friday, I understand where you're coming from, but I think you have to. And it's difficult, but I think you have to allow other communities to have their perspective on their icons and who they feel like represents maybe something that other people's community would represent for them. For me, Charlie Kirk was a brother in Christ in the sense that we were both evangelicals, or at least we were both raised that way. So I see him in that sense. I don't see him necessarily as a Martin Luther King, but I do understand from the Zoomer perspective, a younger individual, particularly white men, why in a world where they don't see the American dream being obtainable, why someone like Charlie Kirk, who is not only living the American dream, but showing a pathway to them reclaiming that, why they would see him and his assassination as a Martin Luther King type figure for them. Not that he has to be for you, but that for them and their movement, why he would play that role.
You know, guys, I just want to read you guys just one passage that Sam Harris published regarding the Charlie Kirk incident, or should I say the political assassination of Charlie Kirk. He said something that I found very profound, and there's a lot of truth in it. He said, since deleting my Twitter account nearly 3 years ago, I've generally ignored social media. However, in the last 48 hours, I've spent enough time studying the response to Kirk's death to be further convinced that platforms like X and TikTok are destroying our culture. No metaphor does the problem justice. I've compared social media to a dangerous psychological experiment, a hallucination machine, a funhouse mirror, a digital sewer, but nothing captures the ludicrous insults, moral injuries, and delusions that millions of outlets avidly produce and consume online. If the medium is the message is mass psychosis, and it will send us careening from one political emergency to the next. The fact that some of the most deranging and divisive content is being created or amplified by foreign adversaries, I agree with that, and that we have literally built and monetized their capacity to do so beggars belief. We are poisoning ourselves and inviting others to poison us. That's a poignant way to put it.
But interesting you say that, because is it a coincidence that the pharmaceutical industry and technology, especially the internet, use the same term when they talk about people? They call them users. When they talk about giving you a drug, a sedative, or anything, they call you a user. Users of our product. You're users. So to not think that, I mean, obviously there's going to be negative and positive externalities from it. It depends on who's wielding it and what benefits you get out of it. He who masters whatever controls thought and behavior obviously is attempting to get a result out of it. It's just like the story of the Wizard of Oz. Who is the wizard behind the curtain, pulling the strings? Who are the people creating the algorithms? Who are the people wanting to make sure that certain things get put on the internet, regardless of whether they cause detriment to society? Because if you think about it, this is where politics and economics intersect.
I actually don't believe, was that you, Alpha, that was speaking in regards to the internet? I actually don't believe people from either in modern day, the left, particularly on the internet, because if you recall, many moons ago, the conservatives were asking for restraints on them. Like Texas just put up a blockage on porn, and that was fought back by people who wanted, quote, free speech and wanted the ability to jerk off to young kids online, which is really fucking disgusting. But they wanted this ability. In fact, sued to actually block these and multiple attempts to go ahead and do this. And so when conservative groups or conservative foundation groups or particularly Christian groups who are saying, hey, I don't want this in my child's life. I don't want the ease of access. I don't want the ability to do it. It gets fought, and sometimes it gets overturned. Sometimes the liberals, the left wins, the right sometimes wins. Like Texas is holding true. Last I knew that their resolve has stood, that they're going to continue to ask for age verification at the very least in order for someone to get online. Now, how much that helps, I don't really know. I don't really care. Don't really watch the shit, so it's not my wheelhouse, and my kids are grown. But when groups do try to say, hey, this is what we want for our children, this is the type of environment we want to raise our children in, they're often forced into and they have to contribute. How do I say this? They have to force to comply with another views, even despite the fact that that view doesn't reside in that area, or even have children to be fucking begin with. It's not like, there's vast communities that are saying, hey, I really don't want books depicting sexual positions and behaviors of LGBTQ members in my third graders' library. I want to remove those books out, which they've had massive protests. They've confirmed, they visually have told us what books they want to remove because of the very indecent things that are in the books themselves. And they received pushback, they received ridicule, they received cancellation, they received a whole bunch of hate. And so the right has now protested and rebounded back and said, hey, this is where we're going. Guess what? We're your Target shoppers. Guess what? On the weekend, we're your Bud Light drinkers. Nope, we're not going to buy that. You're going to either have dips and sales or you're going to cater to what we want. Oh, schools, for sure. We're going to win school boards. We're going to win governorships. We're going to win this area. And then we're going to determine our own rooms. And they're doing it. And this is going across communities. It's happening in Black communities. It's happening in Asian and Hispanic communities as well. So it just appears that white liberal snowflakes really can't figure out that the rest of the fucking country doesn't agree with their stance. And no matter how many times you try to force it, the conservatives are now tired. They are now pushing back, and it's not just the conservatives. It's the middle of the road. And it's a whole lot of other people in a lot of other minorities that are fucking sick and tired of the bullshit.
But Brett, see, I understand everything you say. In fact, I'm quite privy to it. However, where does this stop? I mean, will it attenuate to a point where things will be normal enough for people to disagree with each other, people not to push a particular extreme agenda on each other or try to control each other, but to compete more politically than physically, and then fanning the flames of war and violence? I mean, who draws the line exactly? Where
People have to actually get prosecuted for their crimes. Like, for example, the Trump administration have kind of been hinting that they want to bring George Soros and his kids up on RICO charges for funding all this illegal activity that the left has been doing for the last couple.
Finally.
So things like that have to happen. Look, At the end of the day, if people broke an actual law, they need to be prosecuted on it. But for some reason, the left oligarchs get to walk around this world of, and they've been doing this shit since Kennedy. Like you know, a lot of people talk about Elon Musk being a right-leaning oligarch, but the left has been fucking had oligarchs that's been controlling shit. Like remember doing the Black Lives Matter and the Occupy Wall Street protests? These magical bricks getting placed. Like that shit is a crime. How come no one got prosecuted for? You can't just. It was pallets of bricks lined up in front of these banks for people to throw bricks into the window. Who put those bricks there? Because that's clearly a crime. How come no one ever got prosecuted for that stuff? A forklift had to literally lift that shit in them down. That means someone paid a lot of fucking money for that.
That's the thing, though, Friday. That's the Friday. I think we, as part of the public, if we fall for it and become puppets, do you know what I mean? I mean,
but Alpha, you're asking for something. You're asking for something that should have been. Like I know Matt can find it. I know Free and a bunch of other people because you know how I know that people have sent me this. It's about an hour and a half long, the full video, but there's been clips of it circulating on social media. It's literally that leadership talking political incitement, and they're saying go out and harass, harm. We need to get after them. You have Jasmine Crockett. You know, she's such a wonderful strategist. She's a wonderful political mind. First off, the twat never fucking campaigned, never won an election. She was handed her district. She had what was called a soft election, meaning she didn't have to consent anybody. She just kind of rolled into the position. Hasn't really done my district, didn't even grow up in her district. And if you actually got to meet her before she puts on her performance, she does not talk how she acts on TV. Absolutely 100% does not talk like that at all. Because I know, I've seen her, I've met her. She does not engage that way. She only talks a certain style when she's in front of the cameras or knows there's a big crowd or an event around her. In small private conferences where she's asking for money, she sits there and talks a completely different way. Her articulation switches more than Hillary Clinton's statements on Benghazi, more than Kamala Harris on whether or not she supports Israel or Palestine. I kid you not. But she woke up one day and said, I want to see the end and the downfall and the elimination of Elon Musk. And she got her wish. People were running around carving Nazi signs, swastika signs, in people's fucking expensive cars, firebombing fucking Tesla stations, destroying Tesla charging stations, all for the sake of what? Political leaders inciting violence? But we don't hold any of it. And to DJ Friday's point, yeah, but to prevent it, you need a Democrat leader who's going to say, hey, I need to come out there. And right now, there is no one in the DNC that is a leader that could actually head the left in any particular way, let alone look what they condemn that violence. I mean, even Bernie Sanders giving his milquetoast warm apology and saying, hey, we should condemn violence this time around. Where was that kind of statement and feeling when the fucking the crazy fucking nut job shot up the baseball game? Like, you didn't give that kind of rendition. You didn't walk around saying, we need to end political violence. We need to stop it now. He didn't say any of that shit. He didn't run around saying all that. No, what they're afraid of is actually the reverse. They're now getting afraid of, well, wait a minute, this may have escalated too far, and we may be the people that are next. It may be an Ilhan Omar or an AOC or Bernie Sanders that gets hit. Like, let's be honest. And is anybody on this side, conservatives, going to go cry? No. Should we post memes about how happy we are? Absolutely. We should post 1,000 memes for that shit, because you guys on the left had no problem doing it. And I'm not above. I'm not like king. I'm not forgiving like a lot of Christians. I'm not a Christian, so I don't turn the other cheek. I believe it. I'm old world. I want eye for an eye.
What? Oh, wait, Brad.
What you're saying is contradictory, though, bro.
Brad, don't put that on us, Brad.
You can't turn around and say that Trump wasn't a bad guy when he incited riot and violence.
I know you ever talking. I know you ever talking. Brad, we turned one cheek. Outside of that, we have an Old Testament that clearly tells us we are to defend ourselves and that the state is absolutely there to implement justice, right?
So you guys got to get Old Testament quick. You need that fire and brimstone and that freaking war.
Oh, you know it. Look,
you need crosses painted on shields and swords drawn and start marching into war. Because you guys are under attack.
Just so people understand, right? Because I hear you. Because people don't oftentimes understand the balance of the new and the old. For instance, let's say this retard gentleman that is rainbowist, right? This Tyler kid converts to Christianity while he's in jail waiting to be executed. If he were to do that, we would accept him as a new brother in Christ, and we would wish him farewell on his way to being executed. Meaning, as a Christian, we would welcome him that he is now a new brother in Christ, but still the state would execute him as justice for Charlie Kirk. And so that's the balance that we get, in that as a personal thing, we have a personal way of looking at things, but justice must always be implemented on a societal level. So that's the distinction.
You know, some people on the right, as of yesterday, are starting to question if this guy is even a guy. Is Breitbart
even a guy?
That this guy is even a shooter.
Breitbart, yeah. So you want me to speak to that?
Breitbart, he confessed.
No, he didn't. No, so he's not cooperating.
No, that's changed, King. If you look, I can find it for you. He actually just came out, and they have, he admitted to it, plus there's a Discord message of him admitting to it. So I'll show you it.
Yeah, show it to me, man, because I'm hearing that he's not cooperating.
Yeah, that's changed in the last 15 hours.
Exactly.
No. And they have a Discord message where he said, "Sorry guys,
Have they shown the Discord message? Have they actually shown it?
Yeah, he erased it. Yeah, he erased it, but they retrieved it.
Breitbart just posted. So remember the original old guy that they thought, that old white man with the bald head? Remember that guy? He was the first guy that they had in handcuffs. So today, Breitbart just posted that guy, and they about to rearrest this guy because he was clearly, he was saying that he was playing a distraction, because when they originally put handcuffs on him, he was like, yeah, I did it and I'll do it again. And then they found other people who was dressed just like him, had the same shirt on. So now they're saying that this shit is bigger than what we think it is. And there were a lot more other people involved in this.
The conspiracy theorists will always say that. And it doesn't really matter anyway, because on the right, we're independent and we should have a diversity of thought. So it's okay that they don't agree or believe.
Always dismiss things to just being conspiracy theory. That's a whole conspiracy in itself, bro.
Well, what I'm saying is that you often don't have any evidence. So we do have evidence on the other side that's pointing the other way. So your conspiracy theory it has zero, and I mean zero evidence. And that's what's wrong with the conspiracy theorists. They're always so smart after the fact. But if they were really smart, then they would be able to pick what's going to happen before it actually happens and prevent it from happening.
But you know how many...
In what context, Notorious?
Wait. But y'all know how many
in what context?
Conspiracy theorists have predicted. I remember Alex Jones predicted 9/11 a week before 9/11 happened.
That is true.
And he said it exactly the way he said it was going to happen.
And several people knew, not only Alex Jones, several people knew something like 9/11 was going to happen. In addition, there have been other conspiracy theorists that have absolutely predicted things that have come to pass. Now, they're not 100%, they don't have 100% accuracy rate, but I think towards you have to admit that, especially the ones that have been pushed out there as like the symbol of conspiracy theorists, they have spoken on things that have happened, and it's kind of scary. Because even the frogs are the water's turning the frogs gay. Even that turned out to have some truth to it when they looked into the science behind those things and how it was changing the animals and their their little peepees and wee-wees and coochies and stuff. So we have to be honest.
So you know how that works,
go ahead,
right?
Freddy.
You know how that works, because a long time ago I called into the Alex Jones show and I talked to him about it, right? You know how it works. These guys ain't magical. They're not psychics. they have people on the inside who tell them, like, because in every organization, you're gonna have people who don't agree with what's going on, and they'll tip people off. So you will have people in the government who knows about these things that will tell Alex Jones these things. Now it's up to Alex Jones if he's gonna believe it or not, or if he's gonna publish it. That's all that happens. People tell on these people. It's like if you work for DARPA, it's all type of shit DARPA is working on. But if I told you the shit DARPA is working on, you'll be like, they're not doing no shit. Like, that is crazy. But then Alex Jones, he just has the guts to actually tell us about it. Like, I remember geoengineering was a conspiracy theory. Now they admit to the shit.
Yeah, yep.
What y'all in here lying about? What's going on?
No, what's up, lady?
Happy Tuesday. Hi. Hello.
Hello, my second wife. How's it going?
Oh, how you feeling, Brad?
Feeling good.
What is there not to lie about?
Right, Alpha.
Well, I do want to say one thing. This is cringe. So Pam Bondi, I don't know. They need to fire this stupid bitch. But she thinks she wants to. Yeah, I'm here.
He's running the show. What's going on, kid?
He's got a new name.
Oh.
Yeah, I've had a new name. Yeah, follow me on this account.
I gave you the hearts twice.
Like he
King Solomon. Hey, Mon. Hey.
That's because he keeps getting targeted by a certain individual
I know about it. Okay, cool.
I mean...
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it here. It's fine. Okay. But I haven't been targeted lately, so I'll just drop in it. But I'll say Pam Bondi she's saying she wants to prosecute the Office Max or Depot employees that refused to print the flyers for the vigil for Charlie Kirk. Now, I think that is like absolutely batshit crazy, and that is way over the line. I mean, they got fired. Who gives a fuck? But prosecuting them, I mean, that's just petty and stupid.
It is. Yeah, we got to be careful moving forward.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, well, I can't say it out loud, but it rhymes with bright time.
Amazing.
You're about to feel some of that white power, huh?
I did not say that, goddammit. Put words in my mouth.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as this case unfolds, seeing if we can get to the bottom of the truth and who actually gets to the bottom of the truth. I don't actually think it's going to be the FBI. I think it's going to be us, the people. I think we're going to be the ones that uncover a lot of this stuff to the point where it can no longer even be ignored. Because I don't think that this Tyler kid was working alone. So
I'll just respond to somebody in the chat. Look, China is in no position to talk about democracy and leadership at all. What China needs to do is stop trying to bully Taiwan, okay, and respect people's choices in a sovereign country for what it is, and stop trying to repress everybody and killing dust. That's what they need to do. China is nowhere. See, China was a democracy, right, with an opposition. I would have said, you know what? Sure. I mean, they could have a say in the free world, but they don't. They really don't. They were a pariah state until 1998 when Bill Clinton decided to bring them back in because they were so naive thinking that China actually worked with international conventions and liberalized the economy. They didn't. They did quite the opposite, right? See, China is a very dynamic and diverse way of dictating and, basically one of the, I don't know, it's a strange creature, China. Outside of China, they're all capitalists, they're all accumulating and extractivism and all of that. And inside China, they're all communist and nobody's above anybody else and long live, Xi Jinping and all that stuff. No, China has no credibility to talk about America. China needs to tell TikTok to stop trying to sow division in America, right? That's what China needs to do. And it's quite eerie when I'm not religious or anything, but TikTok, ever since TikTok has been around, the time has been ticking and talking for just poisoning the minds of the youth. right?
That was
And really, don't you guys see it? It's talking.
Yeah, that's a great point. How China basically is trying to destroy the youth of America and have a totally different practice and standard for their own people. Y'all remember that China was welding people in their homes during COVID, like going and welding their doors shut. So, yeah, China.
Yeah, that's true.
You cannot go outside, bad boy. Sit in there and starve.
They give some nice math.
Harold. No go outside, no. No.
That's not nice.
Stay inside your house, bad boy.
Bad boy, you bad boy. Stay in your house,
That
bad
sounds
boy.
ugly. Stop.
That's the type of society.
Yo,
We were doing good. Now you guys are getting a little racist.
Well,
Right.
that's not racist. That's an accent.
racist, goddammit.
No, I hate it when people say it's racist to mimic an accent.
Right, come on,
It's
guys.
like Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah.
has a silly accent. God, I can't even do it. It's so goofy. Like everybody thinks he's cool.
But
you know?
the intent,
something about my accent.
it's the intent. Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's last name is racist as fuck. What do you expect?
And you know what I hate when people come up to you know what I hate when people come up to me. Hopefully you guys can hear me, and they say, "You don't talk black."
Literally means black nigger.
Wait.
Like,
What is that? Wait, hold on. Sin speaking.
I said I hate when people come up to me and say, "You don't talk black." What's that?
Yeah, that's really
what is
annoying.
that?
I don't talk black.
So who's asking you this? Black people or white people?
Both,
Black
You're not
people,
speaking jive.
but mostly white.
mostly black.
So how do black people don't speak English? What is that supposed to mean?
I know. You tell me.
They want you to talk like your name.
I mean, I don't know why I've never made a comment like that. Like that is just an HR write-up looking to happen. If you say you don't sound black, it's like basically saying, "Oh wow, you're not one of the dummies."
Well, my mom named me Thalia, and the oldest girl is Ava, and the middle girl is Zelda, and I'm Thalia. She said she wanted us to be able to have good jobs. So I guess in the late 50s and early 60s, she was thinking about something called affirmative action or DEI. Yeah, I mean, so she told. Now I can deal with Delia because I'm a carbon copy of my great grandmother, so I just jumped a few generations, but a doppelganger.
Is it telling you like the
People are really always thinking how they're going to fit in corporate world, organization that they don't own or not on the board.
Well, you have to remember, Ebonics is not just ignorant speak. Ebonics, we had to master that so the white boy couldn't know what we were up to.
You guys
Here
literally
we
learned
go.
Ebonics.
I felt like we
Oh,
paid
here
our
we go.
dues. I
This
felt
is
like
stupid.
With that bullshit.
No, but I feel like if you carry the last name Sanders, that should be enough. But she, my hair's always been curly and straight at the roots, and she wanted to fit in so bad she would use Vigoro or a pressing comb to just make it like bone straight and no frizz. So some people they go through that to fit in where they can get in more so. But she was more targeted at being jazzy for the corporate workforce than anything.
Amazing. Well, I don't want to stay on Ebonics, and Othello, you're fucking. Do you even know where X? People criticize black people for pronouncing ask as X. That actually came. There's a dialect that was spoken by. They were more or less from the fuck is that area? It's Ulster Scots. It was kind of a poor region where they
Appalachia you're talking about, or the
yes, but where they came from in the UK,
the Highlands in Scotland.
Yeah, they had a very butchered pronunciation of English words, and X was actually one of them. And so there's a lot. It was learned from white people.
It's not that they were poor; it's just that they spoke Scottish Gaelic, and so the Queen had to make adjustments in Glencarry, Ontario, Canada.
Look, Ebonics has a direct line to peasantry in the Anglo-Saxon world. We just have to be honest about that. Nothing wrong with it, but I mean, it has its origins. Thomas Sowell wrote an excellent book that literally details the entire history of this. You can go read it. It's called, if I remember, Black Rednecks, White Liberal, or White Liberal, Black Rednecks, something of that sort. But it literally goes through the entire history of this.
I mean, yeah, everything we do now, we learn from them. So.
But I've understood when white people can't enunciate, no one ever questions their intelligence. But when black people
we don't.
Yeah, dude, we are brutal.
I say all the time that they must got stupid.
Like I don't think you understand. Like when it's like white people around, they will actually stop a person. Like, and I'm saying like in person, face to face, they will say that's not very good English. If you use the word ain't. Like that kind of shit, they absolutely correct each other. Whereas we won't really do it to black people because it would be considered insensitive, and they often, we understand they have a different dialect.
You hear ain't in country music all the time.
Yeah, but they're like that's where white rednecks and blacks have a lot of the similar words because they literally that's where do you think black people got it?
That is correct.
That's not
absolutely correct. Look, there's an entire book written on this. You guys can fucking
wait. I can prove this, King. You have Cajun Americans who are white, also. And identically some of you. I can't understand a word. Hell, I'm in Texas today, and half of the fucking time that I go to a store or anywhere out and about and I have to listen to people talk, I'm going, first, why does it take you a half hour to get to the fucking point? Secondly, what the fuck are you saying? Because I have no idea.
Texas. And look, Brad, this is somebody who likes to speak both. I love speaking Ebonics like I have no sense, and I love speaking proper American English. I can do both. We have to be honest about the foundation of these things, though. It's proper to speak it in one context, and it's proper to speak it in another.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
You can get grown out of discussions because you're not black enough. You can lose your black card. So you're right about that. But guess what? People said I spoke very well. They said that I spoke Hebrew very well. And they was like, yeah, you have such a good flow and you pronounce the words just right. So I think it's just, I just think it's by chance with people. Maybe the way their teeth are set up. Because I would have never thought I would get complimented on Hebrew.
Black people, we have to be masters.
This is the way your teeth are set up. What?
We have to be
so if I got braces, I'll speak better English?
That's what she meant.
What are we doing?
But somebody could have southern
Can somebody fact check that? People with braces speak better English.
The language that you speak does form your mouth from the South. The language that you speak does form your mouth differently. That's why you meet people who speak multiple languages and they have different mouth structure.
No, and that's what I think it is.
What's funny is I had braces. I actually had braces.
What are you laughing at?
No, because you kind of tried to tie, I think, the proper speaking of a language to teeth structure, I think. You were trying to do that?
I just think that is why some people, like, there's a room called Heavy Hitters on this app. Yeah. I won't go in there because he growls. And I know it's a lot of masculine testosterone.
Testosterone is crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, and some guys don't talk much. Some don't. And those are the ones I'm attracted to because if I'm comfortable with you, I go at it all day. Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's get back to the.
Yeah, because it gets silly at some point. When you're arguing with somebody else's language. Like, imagine hearing the British people listening to all us Americans fuck up their shit.
Someone said it.
Yeah.
Just North Carolina's enough. They sound like country mouse.
Yeah, because we were talking about earlier about free speech, but can speech be considered violence?
No, that's just cope. No, it can lead to violence. Yeah, it can lead to violence, and we have.
If someone says, if you had an issue with someone and you run into them in the store, you meet them in a public place, and they say, "I'm going to kill you," is that violence?
Yeah, we have laws against that.
You're threatening.
Those are fighting. If they play like that, no, because the girl did that to my coworker yesterday. That's how they play.
But those are fighting.
No, but look,
Exactly,
Like,
but
it's
we're
like,
just
for
using a
instance,
broad term
for instance,
about how
here in
speech
Chicago,
is so
we say-
free, and it's not.
In
you know
Chicago,
what
we
I
say,
think would really demarcate violent speech from actual physical violence? Look, tell somebody, like, you can experiment this. Tell somebody, with all due respect to the panel and everybody in the audience, you can tell somebody, listen, fuck you, right? And punch them in the face and tell them, hey, which one hurts more? And maybe they'll demarcate it.
yeah, but this whole violence is speech is just it's an attempt by people who don't understand the foundation of America and the First Amendment and why this country was set up on those laws. When you advocate for speech as violent stuff like that, you're just exposing that you don't have you have no tie to Americanism as we understand it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like, you guys may think it's funny, you guys may think it's a joke, but it's not. We need to deport these people. I don't care. We need to deport you. The Constitution is very clear that we are supposed to be guarding against enemies, foreign and domestic. When you are pushing for shit like this, where you're literally espousing things that are contrary to Americanism, I think we need to have an honest conversation so we don't end up having a civil war.
Yes, sir.
But, hey, we can deport you to whatever country. We'll give you a flight, $100,000 or however much it is to go to whatever country you think would accommodate you and your retardedness. We have to be honest about this.
I
I
agree.
don't think they would go, King.
I think a lot of people wouldn't go, actually, Alpha. I think there's a lot of LARPers. There's a lot of people who espouse things where if they were put in a society where they had to actually live under the rule sets that they that come out of their mouth, they would flee those countries. And that's the sad part. So many people are literally they don't have the self-awareness to realize they're pushing for things that they would literally never live under.
I would say there's like one thing I noticed where it is, like in the UK, I'll see Muslims in the UK. They're saying, like, I think it should be illegal to criticize any religion, not just Islam. And it's just like, so wait, hold on a second. So you're basically saying you want to change, they don't have true freedom of speech in the UK, but, more so than
in Europe. They don't even have it in Europe.
Exactly. And so,
I mean, you can say something, it's just not codified. So you can easily get caught up in it. You can easily get caught up in Scotland, because I wanted to check on some things, and they was like, now, the people you hanging around speak Gaelic, so they going to make fun of them in court, say, what did you say? So, yeah, Europe is a hot mess when it comes to freedom of speech. You have to be very careful what you say and how you going to get yourself out of it.
Yeah, so like in the UK, you have like these Muslims who are basically they can't behave themselves if you if you insult Islam. They want to just make it so that you can't criticize any religion. Like they somehow think that would be a good middle ground, which I do absolutely think that when it comes to certain people, especially immigrants from certain places, that should never be accepted. You should never. You should never accommodate those people.
But see, this is the thing, Pepe. Like when people try to, live their lives according to what is ideal, as opposed to what is actually real and affects them tangibly, that's where delusion happens. See, like you have people right now calling for, what do you call it? Heresy laws, right? No. Just no, because what do you mean by heresy law? Maybe I worship the Ferraris as a horse and as a car. So should that be also part of the law to accommodate my sensibilities? These things are so ambivalent and ambiguous. Where do you draw the line, man? That's my issue with it. Where do you draw the line? It's either free speech for everybody or for nobody. That's the thing. But what we are seeing right now is people saying no, free speech for me, no speech for you. That's how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. It just goes back to what we were talking about earlier this week. People don't know how to dialogue, how to get a point over, how to persuade, how to market, how to do elevator. They just, you have a lot of people just don't want to hear it, and it's a good amount of them on this app. In certain types of rooms, you have to.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily the case.
More for entertainment.
But I don't think that's
their kind of entertainment.
I don't think it's necessarily the case. Like with a lot of, like for example, the Muslim immigrants in the UK, it's not that they can't dialogue. It's just that I mean, where they come, it's punishable by death, and they're intolerant to people criticize Islam.
Very intolerant. Very, very intolerant. Yeah. To the point, the women, they need to stay a step behind their husbands, because in Arlington County, Virginia, they are something else. I'd be like, back up off of me, like that. And they don't mean any harm. They evade your personal space.
Good afternoon, Pepe.
Hello.
How are you? I mean, Clito.
I haven't spoken to you in a while, Fatima.
I know you miss me.
Ooh,
Yep.
What's that all about?
Just mind your business.
Y'all don't know,
Mind your
man, Pepe love black women.
Felicity on the other side.
Yeah, y'all could just mind y'all business. But, Pepe, I wanted to chime in on this conversation. Did y'all talk about why free speech is an American thing?
I didn't.
So, the basis of free speech was so that, remember when before America was independent from the British, they weren't allowed to criticize the government or the king. So once they created this new democracy, they wanted people to be able to argue and criticize and, talk about how they felt about things. And they always wanted that to be, protected. That was they wanted their views, especially those that were unpopular, to be protected with the First Amendment. I think it is amendment, where, you have free speech. So with that being said, Americans are in democracy. They're rooted in free speech. They're rooted in free autonomy, because the founding fathers didn't know what rule or authority was. They were trying to get away from it so that they can create their own rule or authority for others, right? Because they wanted to create their own systems. And that system is what we are in today. Those founding fathers found a way to basically monopolize off of their own voices and suppress others.
And who taught you this?
Your daddy.
My dad was definitely
She's not wrong, because she's not wrong, DJ, because in 17...
You wasn't listening to the actual lessons that my daddy was teaching.
All right, DJ, she's not wrong.
Okay,
in 1735, a famous journalist was prosecuted, hung, and killed because of seditious speech, because he was a printer, Peter Zingler. And the founding fathers, when they were drafting the Constitution, actually said, hey, we don't want this kind of thing. Also, they believed it was a safety valve. They had watched numerous plots and oppression occur throughout Europe. And they said if people actually have the ability to speak about their grievances with the government, to be able to vocalize them and communicate them in a broad, open environment, it will not harbor ill feelings nor breed more revolutionary types to overthrow the government. Plus, it provides a safety check on the government, which the people can be informed and discuss the topics of the day at hand with their representatives. And it makes the government accountable for the people, by the people, we the people.
Well, more importantly, they knew it was vital to to a free republic.
A free republic.
A free republic. It was vital. You have to have it. In order to have a free republic, you have to have freedom of speech.
That's true.
And these are the things people like John Locke wrote about.
Othello.
I thought it would be the freedom of democracy.
Othello, I read your thing about how you want Ben Shapiro and who is this other guy?
Jon Stewart.
Not Jon Stewart. Your comments about Jon Stewart. Kash Patel need to go. Kash Patel is not going anywhere. He's actually doing a fairly decent job. I mean, for all once, he's done a lot of improvement. He's done a lot of coordination. He's done targeting. He's put people back on sexual crimes instead of putting them on political desks like Biden's administration. So I'm pretty happy with a lot of the moves he's making within the FBI. I'm sorry that your favorite pundits who like to go on, Sunday morning talk shows and get their 15 minutes of fame aren't there anymore, but I'm pretty happy to see those guys go. But as far as Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro were the polite ones. Like they're really nice. The only problem with Ben Shapiro is he talks too damn fast. He's like a honey badger on meth in his debate styles.
But he sucks on helium before he talks.
He could be, but you have no idea who in the conservative circle is now getting elevated. I said this yesterday, and I'm going to continue to say this. You have Nick Fuentes, and you guys, you don't know shit about him other than the fact you don't like him. That's it. And he has said some racist things. And I will say this. He has said some racist things. He is much more than anything else there. And he's elevated him. You're bringing up Milo Yiannopoulos. He's coming back. Thank you. Because I really wanted to hear the shit from Milo again in my life. And a host of others. Going to have a huge network. You just handed the Republicans the midterms, the next presidential election, the election after that, and you're going to have more of society saying, no, I don't agree with the leftist ideas, and you're still wanting to cancel free speech, which is why you prove the point that the right does not need to come to the table and actually talk with the people on the left anymore.
That's the thing.
What they want to do is hit the left with the table and just mud stomp them as they march on over and just do what they want to do anyway.
I agree with the Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens of the world. I'm on their side. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is that there was an inner fight between the Nick Fuentes and the Candace Owens of the world and the Charlie Kirk ideologies. And that fight was over American blind support of Israel.
Well, not necessarily the fight, because that also pushed her out of the Daily with Shapiro. It kind of pushed her out of Turning Point. But the thing is that I was looking at her yesterday, and she said, there are people who think they can fill Charlie's spot at a company he once owned that have no business there, and she said she'll die, protecting the company from them.
You'll never see Candace Owens. You'll never see Nick Fuentes get the kind of recognition that Kirk got because of their stances on Israel. They can never really get on the political unless the U.S. takes its government lobbies like AIPAC and whatnot. So you'll see them as high as a podcaster. You know what I mean? But you'll never see political.
Because they look at the AIPAC as a foreign entity.
Why are you so focused? Every conversation. So here's a problem. You're so focused on the Jews. Oh my God, we gotta get rid of the Jews because I don't want to be the targeting group. Listen, I have never stop. Hold on. I have never met more people who are afraid of one of the smallest demographics on the fucking planet.
You don't have to go through that spill.
I'll go through whatever I want to. I wore the uniform and actually fought for it. And I don't care about free speech from the left. I don't care about that.
That's not what's going on.
Why are you so focused on Israel? Israel is not our closest ally. It's not even the one we pay the most money.
I understand.
You don't even understand how our economy works in terms of it. Nor do I give a fuck about it. If you were really pissed off about a lot of things, particularly 9/11, like you claim, like I've heard you say, you would be like really pissed off at a country, I don't know, like Saudi fucking Arabia, where they were fucking
you don't have to go down
where
that
they were
track.
fucking funded,
And
where
Brad,
there's only
also
one
Saudi
goddamn
Arabia has
country
the
that
highest
is
in the lobby.
How about you just listen?
Oh, how about you listen
How
instead
about
of
you
talking because you interrupt me? So now I don't have to be polite.
See, you don't even
I
know,
don't have to
you don't
be
even
fucking
know,
polite to
you don't even know
ignorant
the
fucking
perspective
cunt
that I'm
who
talking
can't
about.
fucking actually sit there and listen.
You don't
You
even know
want
the
to just
perspective.
go on and have your fucking viewpoint and no one else can distinguish it because you just want to go with your
Just let me
anti-Semitic fucking
describe
rant
it. Let
that
me
you hate
describe
fucking Jewish people. I don't know if you're
you
crazy
went on an
Jewish
anti-Semitic
cock
rant
or the
last
fact
week.
that you weren't fucking
You
breastfed by
went
a
on an
Jewish woman
anti-Semitic
and you
rant
feel
last
left out.
week.
I
You
don't
went
give a
on an
shit about
anti-Semitic
what
rant
your
last
fucking
week.
viewpoint is
We
because I
all
don't have to
heard you go
respect
on
you.
an
I don't
anti-Semitic
have to
rant
sit
last
there
week.
and take it from someone who's so afraid
You
of a
went
small
on an
minority of
anti-Semitic
fucking
rant
people,
last
and then
week.
you want to just run your fucking mouth
Wait, now
while
you're
anybody
different.
else
Wait,
contributes.
is this a new
Hey,
Brad?
I want to fucking go
Is
ahead
this a
and do
new
this.
Brad?
I
This
don't
is- this
give a
must be a new
fuck
Brad.
about that because you're
Last
being rude.
week you went
And
on
I
an
don't have to
anti-Semitic
sit
rant.
there and take
We
it
have
from
you recorded.
I don't care what you have recorded. I don't give a shit
Now
about
you're the
anything you
biggest
say
Israeli
right now.
supporter.
I don't give a fuck. I will not be
Why
respectful
is that
to you
funny?
because
Being an Israeli
You went on an anti-Semitic
no,
rant
you
last
cannot.
week.
You don't have anything. And again, I don't give a
You
fuck. You
went
can
on
laugh
an
all you want to.
anti-Semitic
You're the
rant
one that's
just
sitting there
last
saying your big
You went
big
on an
Jewish baddie
anti-Semitic
fucking
rant
ball
just
up in your
last
face.
You
You're
went
afraid of that
anti-Semitic
shit.
rant just
You're
last
afraid of having some fucking
Brad,
Jewish
who is
guy
this?
drag his nutsack
Is this
up
the
and
same
down your
Brad?
face. Like I
Is this a clone?
I don't fucking
You
know
went on
what the
an
hell you're
anti-Semitic
talking
rant just
about.
last week.
Again, you're just
You're the
fucking
anti-Semitic
spewing
one.
shit while
It's
talking,
you.
and you want to be platformed.
It's
So now I'm
you.
gonna platform you, fucking
Oh, you.
Othello. Whatever
You went on
your
an
bullshit
anti-Semitic
is,
rant
whatever
last
your
week.
fucking
Why did it
little
change,
wannabe
Brad?
fucking
Wait.
fucking
Everybody
shit is,
asked Brad.
I don't give a fuck.
Everybody
because
asked
again,
Brad if
you
he went on
sound
an
asshole.
anti-Semitic
You
rant
sound like
just
some
last
fucking
week.
twat. You sound like a crybaby who wasn't
Wait,
there.
why did it change, Brad? Why?
You sound like. What the
Why did
fuck
it
is
change?
wrong with you?
Wait,
Like,
so you're
yeah,
not
you can't
anti-Semitic
even
this
fucking
week?
have respect.
What was
You
the
can't
change?
have fucking patience.
What
You
was
can't
the
even
change?
articulate, which is
What
why
was the
I'm going to
big
tell the
change?
right
What
to
was
take
the big
people like
change?
Othello and just like
What was
toss
the
them,
big change?
just throw them,
You
beat
were
them,
just
run them over
anti-Semitic
with a
last
car.
week.
Do
What was
that
the big
shit
change?
over and over again.
We were all
until
in
you
a
can't
row.
get through. Until you can't, because
You went on
again,
your
they don't give a
anti-Semitic rant.
fuck.
What happened?
They just want they're pro-Palestine, which is a whole bunch of suicide bombers who can't figure out how to use a fucking dead man.
What happened in my
They can't
playroom?
fucking they want to throw gay people off of roofs.
You were
That's
just
all great, but
anti-Semitic
it's all
last week.
pro-LGBT.
Why
because
the-
he's
what-
fucking dick in his face.
Why the change of
So
heart?
again,
Did you watch
I
the
don't
documentary?
understand why you are still
Why the
talking.
big change of heart?
I don't have a change
You
of heart.
were
I'm
just
who I am. I
anti-Semitic
have
last
changed in
week.
fucking 5 years.
You went on a
dipshit.
10-minute
fucking
anti-Semitic
full
rant
of
just
shit.
last week. Why
I
the
wasn't
change?
talking shit on Jewish people last week. No one's ever heard me talk shit on anybody.
You went on an
fucking
anti-Semitic
moron.
rant in
And
my
if you
friend's
said
room
anything,
just
if you're
last
trying to
week.
equate my critique of the Israeli government talking about their civil rights
Why the
issues
change, Brad?
and all of their government, that's
Why the-
not
why the
fucking being
change all of a sudden?
anti-Semitic, you fucking dumb
Why the change
ass
all of a sudden?
fucking piece of shit. Go back, read a book.
Why
I'll
the
tell you
change
what,
all
you
of a
need a
sudden?
library card, I'll teach you how
Why
to
the
sign
change
up
of
for
heart?
one of those. I'll teach you how to go order books
What
online.
happened?
There's
Did
this
they have
app
a
called
talk with you?
Amazon. You can order those.
Did they have
There's
a round
bookstore
table with
called
you,
Barnes
Brad?
and Noble. You can go in and buy books. There's a school that will literally teach you.
Hey,
There's
Brad,
old
did they have a
people at
round
the senior
table with you?
center that will teach you how
Did
to
they have a
fucking
round
read.
table with you?
I mean, again, the ignorant
Oh, I
spot
get
is
it.
nothing.
I
You don't
get it.
have
I'm not
anything.
speaking
I don't
towards
give a
your left
fuck,
versus
dude.
right agenda.
You don't have anything
I'm
on
not
me because
speaking
again,
towards your civil-
everybody on
is
this
it the
stage,
Civil War
in this
agenda?
audience, in 5 years,
Nobody
knows
believes you.
me. You don't have
Nobody
any
believes
inner
the Civil
secrets
War
on me,
agenda.
motherfucker.
Nobody believes that there's a left versus right war. I'm sorry, Brad. You can't push it. It's doing
really?
it. It's done.
Oh wait, there's not a left versus right war?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
I didn't watch Charlie Kirk get
It's a
assassinated.
psyop.
You dumb fucking moron.
That nerds like you
dumb fucking moron.
It's a
you
psyop. That
piece
nerds
of
like
shit.
you were trying to
You vile fucking cum state
It's a
that
psyop.
has
That
fucking
nerds
there.
like
You
you were
supported 10
ain't gonna do
humanity. You
You're
can't
gonna
fucking
be on
figure it out.
Clubhouse
There's
talking
not.
about
There's going shot.
And,
you know what?
and
I am
somebody
so
else's
glad
kid is gonna fire
people
the
are
trigger.
so sensitive like you over MLK.
You're gonna be on
because I'm
Clubhouse
glad.
talking about
I'm
it.
glad
and
that
somebody else's
MLK
kid is gonna fire the
and
trigger.
others are getting shot because they
Because
feel
of
your
people like
feelings
you.
so much.
It's
I
a
don't give a
psyop.
fuck.
And you're
Fuck all
pushing
that
it.
shit.
Your old
I
ass
don't
is
care.
pushing it.
I don't really care.
You need to go sit
Anymore.
down,
You haven't
have a
done
pasta,
shit. You haven't said shit.
go
You
look
haven't
at your
proved
retirement
shit.
plan,
You don't. There's not a war coming. You know what? You're right. I wish the conservatives would mount up and do a war because pussies like you can't even serve to defend this fucking country. To wear a uniform and all you can do is play Call of Duty and act like you know about war. You haven't scaled those seas. You didn't jump out of an airplane. You didn't fucking fire down range. You didn't have to get shot at. And all you do is laugh from the basement of your mommy while you're sitting there going, Mom, can I have more minutes for my cell phone? I'm a grown 30-year-old man who doesn't have a fucking job. You don't have a fucking job. You don't contribute to society. And you want the U.S. government, mainly people on the stage, to pay for you. Fuck your psyop bullshit. You're a fucking weird motherfucker. It's all yours. Have fun with this fucking one.
Bitch ass nigga. Thought about that?
Bitch ass? I would swear to God, dude, I would bend your mama over and give you a brother.
Do what you gotta do.
Piece of shit.
Don't be mad when somebody Charlie Kirk.
You ain't gonna do. I tell you what. Yeah, have somebody come. I have guns. I have weapons. Come play. You wanna fucking come play? Come play, motherfucker. Show up at the door. Come on, motherfucker. You talk the walk. Let's go. Talk the talk. Come on. Let's go. You wanna come up and shoot me? Come on. I dare you, you fucking punk ass bitch. You're fucking nothing. You're nothing. You wouldn't do anything because you know what you are? You'd walk out on the sidewalk. You'd look down at the ground.
Pushing a style.
You would look down at me. You would bend your knee. I'll have you lick my fucking toes, motherfucker. I'll put you to fucking work. I'll have you gardening in my fucking backyard. I'll have you doing that shit.
Brad, you need to knock up his mom and give him another brother, and he'll be his stepdaddy, and then you can ground him and take his fucking phone away.
That's wild.
Motherfucker.
Good God Almighty. Brad is another one of these motherfuckers pushing a psyop on the American people when we need to be
what if you're pushing a psyop that is
they're pushing a psyop on
have you ever thought about that?
Civil war.
Perhaps people think you're pushing a psyop. Have you thought about that?
They're pushing a fake civil war on your kids so they can pull the trigger.
Yeah, I didn't go out and shoot Benjamin fucking Crump, did I? Or fucking Farrakhan or any of them motherfuckers, did I? But no, your side fucking decided to come shoot fucking Charlie Kirk.
Just because you're old
that shit. They did that shit, and then you want to go healing. Fuck your healing shit. You know what? You got pissed off when you got pissed off when what was it? Carmelo Anthony was fucking stabbing.
Just because your old ass is bored, you're pushing us.
My old ass still can whoop the fucking black off.
We won't let you do it.
Who's we? You ain't got nobody.
We won't let you do it.
Anybody.
Left and right.
There's nobody standing.
We won't let you do it.
You aren't that tough, dude. Nobody wants to
Cash Patel is being
You don't have it. I hope Cash Patel does come and get you. I hope he does. I hope he does round you up. I want fucking broken windows implemented. I want stop and frisk. I want stop and beatings to actually start to occur.
John Stewart didn't let Ben Shapiro do it.
You know what? Stop and beating sound great. I want to do that. I want to see people like you stop beating. I want Rodney King to look like a fucking Hallmark movie.
We're not going to let you do it. We're not going to let you do it, right and left.
Who's we? Who's we?
The American people. We're going to stop you from pushing a psyop on these kids. We're not going to let you do it.
But Othello, you're pushing a psyop of anti-Semitism on them too, don't you think?
No, I'm not pushing a psyop of anti-Semitism. China just said today that America and Israel betrayed the world.
Wait, this dipshit is getting his news from China and he's going to swallow that.
We're being
like the fucking pile of cum from his fucking grandfather.
We're not going to let him do it.
Holy shit,
We're not
this
going
guy
to let
will
him do it.
dethrone anything out of Xi Jinping's fucking little aid.
We just want to be
You
American.
sniff the whole part all the way up. Are you all the way in that? Are you all the way in that? You're taking China's information? Are you a fucking moron?
Yeah, you guys are dumb. You guys are focused on the pawns.
You are too fucking stupid. I definitely want to follow China's
right war. That's what they
I want to. Part of the problem is you leftists are too fucking up there in the ass of fucking China. Bury your face down in it to actually call your head up. So I'm going to make it simple. The day I listen to fucking China, for you little twat waffles, I'm going to fucking. No, I don't care. I want to see that shit. I really want to see that shit. I don't give a flying fuck.
We won't let you do
listening to China. China told me the Jews are bad. That's your fucking
We won't let you do it. It's not about Jews, baby.
Fucking idiot.
You can't do that.
You are improving to the state.
It's not about Jews. It's about
to actually have a conversation.
Not about
shit. You are too fucking ignorant. You're the reason why we have to sit there and have to deal with fucking stupid shit like Israeli-Palestine. Meanwhile, you have no problem killing Charlie Kirk.
His source is the South China Post. I mean, isn't that...
He's a fucking idiot.
Charlie Kirk was a pawn. Okay, George Floyd is a fucking pawn.
You're a pawn if you're listening to fucking China, you dumbass. And they're not even paying you. They're not even giving you a reach around. You're doing it free.
You're trying to push the left versus right agenda on these good American people and their children so that somebody else.
Wait, how was George Floyd a pawn?
And you're un-American for that. We're not going to let...
The guy was a predicate felon, bro.
We're not going to let you do it. They want us to fight each other right now. That's the whole psyop.
I want to fight you because you're fucking retarded and fucking up to fucking China. Because you're getting your information, whatever BBC that China has rolling in your ass, and you're fucking spitting out fucking cum because you're like, yes, daddy, China, give me some more. I want some extra cum of some young guy over there. You're sitting there going, I need that in my life. You are sitting there going, believe that I gotta believe fucking China. Fuck China. Fuck that.
You sounded like an agent with an agenda. That's what you sounded like.
I'm not quoting China's sources, ass.
Yeah.
Who sounds like the agent, you moron? Do you even hear yourself? You retarded. You are beyond.
No, you're retarded for pushing a stab on these good American people. There's no left versus right war. And you won't stop it until another politician dies. You guys want to
fucking
go out there and kill another
fucking China. The same group, the same country that said 5 years over here. I get it. You're a Biden sympathizer. I get it. You're just all about that. You know what? I don't need soldiers to go to a civil war with a type of you. Our crab fishermen in Alaska who fucking defended the Chinese Navy.
They're not killing
shit. I might as well march out the conservative women because that might be a fair fight for you at least. They not fucking beat the shit out of you. None of that shit. Nobody's listening to you because
you're not pushing shit and you're not killing shit. Nobody.
I don't fucking know. China.
America should be healing.
You know what's funny about a statement is that at this time right now, when emotions are in commotion, right? A Chinese-owned social media company like TikTok is shutting down anyone with right-leaning views just so that it can make them feel like they're being, sidelined, right? And it's amplifying all these idiots that are supposedly on the left to create this atmosphere of animosity. So, Attilo, your China is the provocateur.
No, you guys are the provocateurs in these rooms pushing a fake-ass left versus right propaganda psyop agenda on the American people. Luckily, John Stewart taught it.
TikTok is amplifying that.
Ben Shapiro tried to do it.
But TikTok is amplifying that by banning people who defend Charlie Kirk
proud of America.
and amplifying those who are against Charlie Kirk.
Now they're questioning Cash Patel for his complicity.
I want 20 more Cash Patels against fucking Chinese psyop agents, fake fucking. You know what? I'm gonna call you Paper King because we already got one on this app. I'm gonna call you Paper. Just so the two you can be together. Paper fucking tiger. That's what you guys are. Fucking rice paper going through. Listen, I don't give a shit what those like fucking Chinese fuckers have to say. I don't give a flying fuck about what you want. I don't care about how much you think they're great. I don't give a fuck about your opinion from China. If I wanted China's opinion, I'd walk over there, I'd smack the fucking kung pao chicken out of their ass, and then I would drag it and told them. I don't give a fuck. Listen, just like we talk,
you're retired.
Wait. Just like we that the U.S. can show them how the sun sets twice on their nation, who's got the bigger fireworks, I can promise you we can do that to China too. Without a fucking blink in the eye. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what China says. China's non-relevant. China doesn't have anything on the U.S. I don't give a fuck what China says. You guys sucking up to China is the cringiest shit I've ever heard of.
Bullshit. Get off the boo-boo.
The social media company that is actually, look, this is what it's doing. In this time, at this sensitive time, at this time where sensibilities are on fire, okay, and people are looking for things that you're talking about. Listen for a moment. The social media company of TikTok, owned by China, is banning accounts and suppressing accounts that are trying to be on Charlie Kirk's side while amplifying the lunatics who are celebrating his death. Now, you tell me, is that conducive to the current atmosphere in the United States?
Look, Elsa's not that bad. It's Othello that is quoting China, and then he's wanting us to listen to fucking China. This fucking moron who's never done anything in his life is still living in mama's basement.
Retired pedophile on Clubhouse pushing a left versus right war among Americans. That is so un-American. It's so
Come on, bro.
Period.
That's what TikTok is doing, though. That's what I'm telling you.
But anyway, they have a military person who's overseeing Cash Patel.
Cash Patel's being questioned right now by our Senate.
Right, and they have a guy that works at this, a white guy in the military, works at the Pentagon, high-ranking person, and technically is the head of the FBI. Because Cash Patel low to profile a white guy who killed Kirk, because no black person really had that much vindication for him.
No, this guy's going to tell you that you have to listen to China. Every time you open your mouth, I'm going to put
we know you're trying to deflect the room, but nobody
fucking
believes
cuckold that wants China.
Nobody
you want America there. You want to sell it off to that
shit. We called you out.
You didn't call me out. Nobody. Listen, dude.
We locked in on your agenda.
Nobody here called me out for shit.
We locked in on your agenda.
You don't have me. My agenda is not to fucking sell me to fucking China, nor my kids. Nor allow fucking idiots to believe China doesn't have nefarious means. And you can't even name a fucking city in China, but you're going to quote their news. You can't even find fucking the capital of China on a map, and you're going to tell me I need to listen to them. You don't know anything about their economic policies. You don't know anything about their military construct. You have no idea.
There's no civil war.
Nothing. But you want me to listen to China because you think you have some mysticism because China tells you how great it is to live there. Let me tell you how great it is to live in China. They fucking steal people up in the rooms to die, and they're home while they had COVID. They tortured people. They killed millions of people when they came into power.
From the left and the right.
But you don't have a fucking clue. You are not going to let retarded to actually listen. You know what? You need to go quote Pol Pot. You would have a better chance with Pol Pot. You would have had a better shot with any of them. But you can't even fucking do that. You went to China. You simple fucking cuckold. I can't believe it. I can't believe that there was this moron. Pepe, it's your room, but you can have the Chinese fuck up here. Doing his little fucking rhetoric all day long.
We're not going to let you push that agenda. I'm sorry.
You know what? I want everybody to lock up and put into fucking internment camps. Chinese sympathizers. Anybody who speaks for China at a great limit, I think we need to open up internment camps and lock them up.
We're not going to let you push that agenda on the good American
TTR.
Oh shit, that's me?
Yep. Albino alopecia.
Oh shit, where's his chest though?
Wait, did you guys know that Ludwig has albinism and alopecia?
What in the world's going on here? Is talking about
Ludwig.
Your mom is.
Yeah, no, I'm not even joking.
Your mom is.
Ludwig, I've seen your real picture. You have albinism. You have albinism, and you have alopecia, which is fucking wild. You're literally powdery.
And still, your mom is.
Now the real psyop began. Like right now with the albinism stuff.
The best thing to come out of this death is the Charlie Kirk Act. Why? Because the Charlie Kirk Act is going to hold people like Brad and people that are pushing this left versus right agenda responsible for any more deaths. Check it out. It's called the Charlie Kirk Act. Anybody pushing this propaganda on good American people, trying to get our kids involved, trying to radicalize our kids to go shoot another politician, slap the shit out of them when you see them. America needs to heal right now.
Wait, how do you stop violence by going and
slap the shit out of them?
Yo, come on, man.
Anybody pushing that propaganda, slap, and then Charlie Kirk.
Here's what you do. Anybody who quotes China and tries to do this, you run them over with a car. You fucking accidental fucking backing them up in a parking lot. You know what? It won't even be a hate crime at this point. I'm fine with it.
I mean, Othello, you keep on saying that this is like somehow it's not right versus left. Okay, all you've been saying are a bunch of. Well, first of all, you have this faggot that ended up. I don't know if he's trying to impress his boyfriend or or I don't even know what the fuck he's doing.
You know, that's what he is.
And so, like, he ended up shooting him because, you know, he was a lefty that hated his views. And then we've seen all of the American lefties, not Chinese people, sit here and, you know, celebrate his death. These are real Americans that had real American jobs, and so they got fired in America. I mean, this is left versus right. For whatever reason, you think that it's like. It's not real. This is stupid.
It's a fight between the right wing. It's right on right.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You're really
slipping, that were celebrating his death, and what do you think it's actually about? It's right versus white. I mean, that is stupid.
It's right versus the right wing. You're
letting these blacks get away with way too much.
It's between the Nick Fuentes of the world, and it's between the Charlie.
Nothing to do with Nick Fuentes.
Yes, it is.
Fucking idiot.
This is an infight in the right wing.
I told you this. I told you he was
it does have a lot to do with Fuentes. You listen to some of Candace tapes when it comes
Listen
to
to the fucking idiot
just last night.
I mean, we know that I've known for years that the Groypers and Turning Point USA have been publicly feuding with each other. That's actually how the Groypers really made a name for themselves, is trolling Charlie Kirk on his campus tours. And you know, it was a pretty outrageous.
He didn't know this stuff. He doesn't know those.
But you know what is even funny, guys?
He's quoting fucking China. He's quoting Chinese sources.
He's quoting TikTok University.
I'm connecting all
the Journal of TikTok
together because I actually research and I study. And
no. You have Chinese Pooh Bear dick in your butthole, and so you need to cleanse those chocolate cheeks and get that Pooh Bear dick out of your butt.
From the actual subject matter, but it's not going to.
That was not ad hominem. That was factually accurate.
This is what we do.
Hold on. You know what I really found funny?
You look like powder. Shut the fuck up.
Maybe I'm next. Look, Andrew Tate, you are not a debater, okay? And nobody's after you, Andrew Tate. The only people after you are those women from Romania.
Wait, why are we talking about Andrew Tate? Andrew Tate don't have shit to do with what the fuck is going on right now.
Come on, bro, stop it, man. Andrew Tate coming out saying, maybe I'm next. Man, shut up, bro. You're not that important. Shut up.
Oh, well, that's a little off the beaten path, but he already was next for, you know, basically freedom of speech when they got house arrest in Romania.
No, that was for sex trafficking.
Yeah, it was sex trafficking.
No, that was sex trafficking.
He's never been charged, let alone be.
No, he's been charged. You mean?
But they make up shit with you when you do have freedom of speech.
Oh my god, the biggest conspiratorial person on here saying
keep in
something.
mind,
Please, anything that you don't agree with is conspiratorial.
That's because they have
my truth. My
truth. You're huge into conspiracy theories, Connie.
Well, you're not my man, so I'm not gonna sign.
You know what I found funny though, Attila? Like, you're not consistent, man. You cannot come and tell me that China is somehow caring about the state of the world, especially what's happening in Israel or what's happening in America. Do you know why? Because, like I said, TikTok is the one right now perpetuating what you are talking against.
What I'm saying is, you don't have to respect China, but what I'm saying is...
No, it's not about respecting China. I'm just saying if China was an honest broker of truth,
let me respond to you.
Then the social media companies
doesn't matter what I'm saying.
How do you feel about the weakness?
China used their voice to denounce us, and that's it. Now, whether you respect them or not,
but that's not the point
I'm bringing up the point that China used their voice to denounce us today.
No, look, what I'm telling you is this. If China was an honest broker of truth, not that they cannot be, but at the moment they're not. What I'm saying is if they were honest brokers of truth, right, the social media company owned by them, TikTok, would not be attempting to suppress one side and amplify the other because they know at this moment,
have their own skeletons, I understand.
Things are edgy. And people will have the perception that we're being suppressed. And it may not necessarily be by the left, but this is what they're doing. They're creating a rift.
I understand that they have their own skeletons.
It has nothing to do with skeletons. I don't think you understand how this works. I don't think you understand how propaganda works. Now, there's a lot of people think that they're somehow trying to, that the ultimate goal of, like, for example, Russia or for China is to change our opinions on something, and so that we'll vote in another way. That's actually not what their goal is. Their goal is to muddy up the waters and damage the reputations and the narratives of both sides so much that Americans will start becoming more apathetic and not trusting either party. It basically is a way just to fuck with the United States, so that it's harder for us to get things accomplished, so that we're less unified. And like when it comes to China and like Russian propaganda, I don't think you realize just how harmful it is and why they seek to do it. It's absolutely in their best interest for America to be weakened, and for Americans to not really want to be on board with any, especially geopolitical endeavors they might want to accomplish.
Basically, to demoralize them.
Yeah. To Pepe's point, we got to be honest. Israel lost the social media war. And I think the IDF is doing the right thing, but it's just like Pepe was saying, the propaganda has been flooding the social media, and that's where they're losing the war at. So once they tighten that up, I think, the American people, or people in general that disagrees will change their opinion. But right now, the social media war is getting guys like the guy that's talking about Palestine and Russia and all that. Social media got him. And I don't know if we can ever get those people back, but I land there.
Like, irredeemable, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think you can get them back, because it's just their thinking is just fundamentally flawed. These are the same people that you have to sit here and have an argument about over what is a woman and all of this other nonsensical thing. So I think the mentality is going to remain the same.
You know what I find funny though, Victoria, is that whenever people ask a question, what is a woman, they ask a man instead of asking an actual woman. No, have you guys noticed though? They never ask
most of those
what is a woman.
Trying to pretend to be women, so you're asking them, what the fuck is a woman? Because clearly, under my circumstance, I couldn't call a fellow a woman, but I mean, he wants to identify as one, a Chinese woman to be precise. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, has the definition changed? I need to figure this out. Why would I ask Hani? Because she's been a woman all her life. I have to sit there now and figure out what this new interpretation is. And so people like Othello, who want to be a Chinese little fucking girl in like one of those dresses, he wants to fucking, have butt plugs and be a woman these days. And I can't figure it out why. I do not know why. They want to be Chinese simps. They want to fucking suck at the dick of Kung Pao chicken and want to fucking have this whole idea that they somehow have the answers, and that China is so perfect, and China has all these great ideas and inventions and all this shit. When I'm like, do you know the history? Do you know that they kill fucking people? They just murk people. They grab them off the street and murk them. Like, where of that shit? Like, their human rights violations are astronomically, but they don't allow people in, and when people do question it, they get fucking murked themselves. Like, China is not nice. It isn't powerful. Its economy is fucking on the brink of collapse.
No one was arguing
It doesn't have an infrastructure.
So what is the tariffs doing to China right now?
China is like basically saying, we're already broke and we're fucking crippling further. They have entire cities that are empty. They built this shit with money from your tax dollars, and they're empty. There's no one living in it.
No one was arguing that. I mean,
I
guess that's one way to deflect from the point. I guess
you should go look that up about those cities that China's building.
You wanted to attack Israel, and then you wanted to say China told me. So that's your gist is Israel bad because China told me.
So you
that's
gotta
what
listen.
you said.
You gotta listen.
That the Jewish people were the reason for Charlie Kirk being assassinated, which is the furthest from the fucking
truth. What is this?
You fucking communist woman.
You're doing some like Karen-esque type shit right now. That wasn't the quote, or that wasn't the point. I'm saying China. I was just saying China used their voice to say that America and Israel betrayed the world, and further, Netanyahu is making us complicit in his crime. Nothing about the Jews, because some Jews believe this.
Is Netanyahu.
Nothing about the Jews.
Wait. What crimes did Netanyahu commit? What crimes? Give me the crime. Spit up. Don't Google it.
Okay.
Don't fucking Google it.
You have one crime.
Tell me the fucking
where Netanyahu, right?
Wait, what's the fucking crime?
The crime where Netanyahu led the people that he was supposed to negotiate with for
That's not a...
Yes, it is.
The fucking
Into neutral territory.
What is the fucking...
Right, into territory.
What neutral territory? What territory was neutral?
Second, the overkill
territory
in
was
Gaza.
listed as neutral.
Second, the
territory
overkill in Gaza.
was listed
Second,
as
the overkill
because
in
there is
Gaza.
no neutral territory
Second, the
around
overkill
Israel.
in Gaza.
There is no neutrality around Israel.
Second,
What neutral territory are you talking about?
Gaza is his second point.
Gaza is not a neutral.
The overkill in
It
Gaza
is not a
his
neutral
second
territory.
point. Starving the
He did not invade a
Palestinians.
neutral
I don't
territory.
Starving the Palestinians is his third point.
Othello, you know what is so...
Palestinians is his third point.
Othello, you know what is so really... Listen, you know what is so unsubstantial about what you're saying? And in a long line of those who criticize Israel, sometimes rightly, sometimes very wrongly. Look, there's been more sanctions against Israel than North Korea, despite North Korea threatening World War III, right? There's been more resolutions against Israel, right, than any other country in the world. So I don't see the neutrality of this.
I don't want to do the what about it. I'm talking about what's happening on the grounds right now. The what about?
You don't even know what's happening on the ground. That's neutral territory. You can't name a crime, and you're citing all this
I
shit
just
because
named
you
three
just have
crimes.
some Chinese rhetoric
I just
in your
named
mouth.
three
You
crimes.
didn't give anything.
I
You
just
haven't
named three
provided
crimes.
one fact.
I
You
just
can't
named
back
three
up or
crimes.
substantiate one
I
fact.
just named three
You
crimes.
didn't name a crime.
I
There's
just
no
named three
neutrality
crimes.
around Israel.
I just named three crimes.
There is no neutrality
Hold on, Brad.
around Israel.
Let them go at it, dude.
No, I was just gonna mention something. Monica text messaged me. She said you need to get your niggers in check.
Amazing. All right, go ahead.
I let him know, Monica.
Did she really do that?
Yeah, she did.
No, she didn't. All right, come on, you guys, continue.
But again, there's no neutrality. This idiot is
Wait, hold on. If Rich, hold on, Brad,
he hasn't proven that Netanyahu. You haven't even cited one fucking crime. You haven't cited one example. You haven't backed it up. Netanyahu has not violated any of the quote neutrality agreements that are out there that you claim exist. Because it's not there. All you want to do is play Jewish crimes. That's what you is. That's what you have. You're like, I want to stand with pro-Hamas fucking cocksuckers that want to fucking murder people, want to rape American citizens.
Brad,
you are that kind of stuff. Because I hate to tell you this, on October 7th, there were Americans that were raped, tortured, kidnapped.
You were just
last
anti-Semitic last
week, more than going to a music fucking festival.
Am I the only person that heard
act like you want to support this side that fucking raped Americans. Fuck you. Fuck your shit. Fuck your little wannabe ass. Go the fuck home. Get the fuck out of my country. Go to whatever mudhut you want to sit for and go die there so we put a warhead on your forehead. Get the fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck. You fucking are against Americans. You're okay with rape, torture, kidnapping, and murder of Americans. You support the fucking group that did that shit. That's what you are. You fucking cock monkey piece of shit.
Brad, you were just anti-Semitic last week. Now you're anti-black.
No one has ever heard me be anti-Semitic.
What's going on?
No one has ever heard me. Fuck you.
You were anti-Semitic and you did the same rant against the Jew. And you
I never gave him a rant against the Jews.
Yes, you did. Last week in my
first give me the fucking audio clip. Because I can promise you in 5 years, I have never said anything anti-Semitic about
never been anti-Semitic.
I don't give a fuck.
We don't know who the
Connie has. Brad
Brad
has
has
not.
never been anti-Semitic.
Connie has.
I can't be because I have a heritage of Ashkenazi either. So I don't.
He was anti-Semitic in my friend's room just last week. Okay? He was doing the same shit where he goes off on anybody that has a different opinion than him.
Israel or critiquing someone who comes in and gives a lie about Israel, gives a lie about something else, and pushing back saying, hey, no, we are perfect angels, we do all this shit. That's not fucking being anti-Semitic, you fucking twat waffle. That is not. What I said was when that idiot came up there and said, we're not killing people, we're doing the most righteous and religious and moral war without the least amount of carnage or damage, And I said, that's bullshit because I can pull up the videos of missiles attacking. You can critique Israel's stance. You can critique the politics of Israel. Fuck the country before October 7th was marching in the goddamn streets. I can go ahead and do that. But what I don't do is sit there and condemn a whole group of people. And I sure as shit don't sit there and side with the people that fucking raped, tortured, and murdered American fucking citizens at a music festival and then say, oh, Israel's the problem. Israel's the problem. No, you're the fucking problem.
We literally doing the same thing.
You're the fucking
We're
problem.
literally doing the same thing.
Being the fucking
We're
problem.
literally
You
doing the
need
same
to have
thing.
your head
We're
fucking
literally doing the same
I
thing.
want this. I want
just
BLM.
exposed
I want
yourself.
WLF.
You just
I want American
You just
JLF.
exposed
American.
yourself.
American lives
Bradley.
fucking matter. You
Bradley,
piece of
you
shit.
just exposed
You
yourself.
vile,
You're
disgusting
doing the
human
same
being.
thing.
When you figure out your priorities, then
Bradley,
you can come talk to
you're
me.
doing the same
Until
thing,
then,
Bradley.
you stay in your fucking
Bradley,
ratchet
you're doing the
Palestine,
same thing.
fucking Hamas,
You're doing the
fucking
same
camel
thing,
cock,
Bradley.
whatever fucking bullshit
You're doing
you
the
want
same
to do.
thing.
I don't give a fuck. I stand in between you and the fucking people of everywhere. Has fucking shit.
We're doing the same thing, baby
Stupid
boy.
fucking idiot.
We're doing
Go
the
back
same
and
thing,
pretend that
Bradley.
you're a fucking
Hey,
Chinese
Bradley.
girl. Make your little
Bradley, you were
voices on
anti-Semitic
TV
last
and
week.
go
Now
back to
you're
doing your
anti-Chinese?
fucking OnlyFans for fucking gay Chinese men. That's what you need to do.
You were
You fucking
anti-Semitic
piece
just
of
last
shit
week.
faggot.
Why the change? You were anti-Semitic just last week. You went on your whole rant against the Jews just last week in my friend's room. Oh, what changed? Did you have some grand realization by Hashem? What happened?
But that had to be bipolar because I've been watching Brad and I've never seen him act like that.
I don't care what it is.
He's making shit up and he's
We
going to
don't-
go
we
to
can't
a
say-
story about
we
Israeli
don't know that
politics
from a
with
can of
being
paint.
anti-Semitism.
Brad,
So-
are we not familiar with each other from
Yeah,
other
we've known each other
houses?
5 fucking years. Like this is a whole thing. Even the Jewish community on fucking Clubhouse. So this little twat who wants this.
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all said all the rooms
in
are
the
recorded,
Jewish
right?
community on Clubhouse.
You guys said all the rooms are recorded?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go get the recording, dipshit.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm going to hold a fucking massive room. And we're going to analyze.
First off, the 2 people that came to your room
We're going to
before
analyze
I got
it
there
word for word.
is proof
And
that you
better
can't hold a massive
You
room.
better John Kitover doesn't have the
But the
recording.
thing about it is,
You better hope.
but the thing about it is, I'm Ashkenazi descent, and I know about more rooms than you do, and you don't got nothing on Brad.
Listen, honey, you wasn't in the room when I heard it, okay?
Okay, girlfriend.
Why you sound so gay, Othello?
Go ahead and
It
do
was
this
my
for
friend's
entertainment.
Akima, did you hear that
Do
too?
this for entertainment.
It was my friend's room, and you were not in there, honey. I was in there, other Jews were in there, and other people were in there. And we all heard his anti-Semitic.
Bring one of the Jews here then. Bring one of
He's
those.
off the rails.
Go ahead. Bring
He
him in.
can't control himself. Look how he tried to twist my
Brad, I'll be the determining factor here. Go ahead and tell me what you said.
Very simple. I believe someone came up and said Israel is doing a perfect, war. It's the most moral. The same fucking bullshit, optic-wise rhetoric that you've heard on Clubhouse from pro-Israel. I personally say they should just go in and fucking carpet bomb the entire area. And I don't give a fuck. Kill grandma, kill fucking whatever. I don't give a fuck. First, they attacked and killed Americans. I've always said that. I don't give a fuck about the people of Gaza. I really don't. I don't care. I don't care about human rights. I don't give a fuck. War is war. But you can tell the twat waffles who have never wore a uniform, which is
That's
a
not anti-Semitic.
So,
you can only be anti-Semitic against Jews.
That was
so, and then here's my point.
Anti-Semitism just means the hatred of Jews.
But for people of Israel or pro-Israel to come up here and say, we are doing the most moral. War is fucking war. I am not giving you like an A in the moral category because I can watch.
Gaza too.
Yeah, you can fucking drop bombs. You're killing civilians. That happens in wars.
Brad, answer this question.
Spare this shit. And again, so I can critique it. Israel has a problem with its civil rights. It's going to have a realization and a culture clash in regards to that. It also needs justice reform, which is why half the country was protesting.
Yeah, every Jew on earth agrees with that.
Yeah, so I'm
that's not anti-Semitic.
Brad, you didn't tell that Jewish guy this is why everyone hates you? In my friend's room?
It's not anti-Semitic.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Did you say it, Brad?
That's why people get pissed off at Jewish people. Yes, because they come in there with that when that guy was going.
Oh yeah, we're super arrogant and
you guys said this is
condescending.
why everyone hates you?
I mean, it's because
That's
we're
not
superior.
anti-Semitic, dipshit.
Oh, I'm just asking. Did you say it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That's not anti-Semitic. It's not anti-Semitic to do that.
We get down to it. There's more stuff. But I've established.
Yeah, Othello, we are arrogant and condescending to you people because we're better than you, Othello.
I've established.
No, Rick, here's the point. When you have these Israeli guys come in, and not that I let Othello fucking go off on Jewish people, his anti-Semitic ass. But when I push back on those very arrogant Israeli individuals who come in and say that Israel can do no wrong, and then you look at the history of it and say, I can highlight this, and currently, the people of today are marching in the streets about justice reform and reformation and civil rights in fucking Israel. Well, then that proves to be a problem that Israel is not absolutely perfect.
Brad, I can tell you one thing that Jews will really care about. Do you believe that Israel has the right to exist as a state?
Of course it has the right to.
There you go. That's all Jews care about.
Okay, well, we're gonna
anything else is just conjecture.
Go through what he said.
Who cares?
Piece by piece, piece by piece. I'm gonna hold a grand master.
I mean,
if we gonna go.
But like I said, Othello, we're above you. You're beneath us. The highest median IQ of any ethnic group on Earth. We hold more wealth than any other group on Earth, especially per capita. Just saying.
And the Jewish people.
So Brad's saying that we're like arrogant and that people hate us. I mean, that's justified. No, it's justified.
He said a whole.
As long as we own you, we don't care if you're mad at us, though. You can be mad at us all you want.
Oh my goodness.
All right, this is getting boring. I mean,
I said that 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, never come from me.
And that's what Monica said.
What I don't get is like the blacks, like your guys' whole thing with Jews. Like, why do you care about them so much?
It's not about Jews.
Othello definitely is anti-Semitic. He fucking hates the Jews.
Stuff about all Jews. This is why they hate you.
Othello, you're one of the most anti-Semitic people I've met on here.
Only Brad has
you hate the Jews, Othello.
About Jews.
Yeah, but what he said was not anti-Semitic.
We've all said that because when everybody knows when you criticize Israel, there's a certain group of Jews who get upset, and the first thing they want to respond with is you're anti-Semitic just for even mild criticism of Israel. So it's just like what the blacks do. When you give blacks criticism about the black community, first thing they want to do is what? Call you fucking racist. So all people have called out is what it does is it makes you look bad. Just like anybody, it shuts down the fucking conversation and the debate and makes it look like you fucking lost. That's criticism.
And even if you have a mixed heritage, you get your black card stolen. And they'll whisper things behind your back like, well, I don't like Delia because she's Native American, or you don't act black enough, you don't talk proper enough, which messed my head up as a child because I failed poorly in English and literature classes for some time. But yeah, that is true. That I don't care who you are, if you are not talking about what they want to talk about on their vibe with black people, your card will be taken from you.
Yeah, so it gets old, Othello, because people want to have a conversation, and again, it goes against American values of freedom of speech, which includes criticism, whatever you want, race, religion, whatever you want. You should be able to criticize it and be able to have the conversation. But when people immediately they want to call you homophobe, xenophobe, racist, anti-Semitic, whatever, when you haven't been disrespectful, you haven't condoned any type of violence or taking away people's rights, you just simply want to criticize and have a conversation. It's lame as fuck, and nobody appreciates it.
I agree, and that's what Brad tried to do to me when I was bringing up my point, and so I just held the mirror up to him, and I'm saying, okay, you want to play that game?
Brad, I think you got to put your boots back on the stack.
We got the recording on you.
Then play it. You act like I'm scared. You act like I haven't been on Clubhouse nor had some of the largest political rooms that existed out here. I've held the same fucking language, the same stance for literally everybody. I critique white people. Othello doesn't get up in his little fucking fake vagina feeling that way when I critique white people. When I was critiquing the fucking whatever, the one Israeli pro IDF guy who is we're angels of God, kind of coming down. He didn't get upset then. When it comes to it, and let me mind you, this is the same guy who is literally fucking pro-Americans getting killed, and he's pro-China. Like, at the end of the day, I can't make this shit up. But I've held these rooms, and I hold the same stance. I've never waffled on my critique of Israel. I don't care. But I also said there are Americans. There are Jewish Americans. And the minute they were touched in Israel, and I've said this from day one, I wished we would have carpet bombed the fuck out of Gaza. I would have made a McDonald's, a fucking Popeye's chicken, and a Walmart and put it over them and said, here is the Gaza fucking shopping mall. That's what I would have done. Because the minute you touch an American, I have a fucking massive problem. I don't care what race, culture, or ethnicity you are in fucking America. I care that if somebody else from another place in this world, another country, another fucking little wannabe terrorist band touches an American, I want to fucking kill you. I want your ancestors. I want your fucking children. I want all of your offspring. I want them eliminated. I want the fear so big that when people say, hey, that's an American, other people run when they want to do bad shit. I want Americans to walk the globe in peace and security, and they should have that. They have paid for that with sweat, blood, money, treasure. They've sent their kids off to die in foreign wars on foreign soil to ensure that. We should have that. And if Israel, thank you for returning hostages, I will hand that off to you. You have my deepest, sincerest appreciation because the cuckold fucking Biden administration didn't do that. And he didn't unleash our 25 fucking 100 devil dogs that wanted to go in and fucking get our Americans back. Thank you, IDF, for returning at least them. I am grateful for that. But still, I want the heads of fucking Hamas. I'm proud that the IDF sent beepers and blew up fucking nuts off of fucking part of these collabs and terrorists. I'm happy that they struck in Qatar because at least they're doing something. But to sit there and say it's a holy war and that they're doing it perfectly and they're not harming anybody, you're full of shit. Stop with this whole Jewishes are the superheroes and you're doing it on a moral basis. You're conducting war. You're killing women and children. It's okay. It's part of fucking war. Civilians always pay the price in every fucking war. It does not matter. But you know what? Hats off to it because I'm with you. I would have fucking steamrolled through.
What I'm saying is, Brad, I'm a master chess player. Don't ever play the
You're
anti-Semite
not a
game.
fucking master anything.
Don't
You don't even know how to play checkers.
Dude, Othello,
You can't even get tic-tac-toe right.
Don't ever
What
play
the
the
fuck you talking about?
Othello, here's the problem. Othello, here's the problem. And so I've been letting you guys go at it. Now, look, dude, just like how, you know, personally, I would like, I just want...
Yo, I want to play you chess right now. I want to play you chess.
Let's do it.
But, like, when it comes to... The thing is, though, is we were just having a conversation about, you know, what was posted up above. And then, like, for whatever stupid reason, you start bringing up Jews, and it's just like, we don't care. Now, there are some... If you wanted to criticize maybe certain bills, BDS laws, sure, we could have done that, but, like, this is... The speech that Pam Bondi was talking about had nothing to fucking do with Israel or Jews.
Why are we talking
it was
about
just
Jews?
obnoxious.
Why are we bringing up Jews?
You brought them up.
Yeah,
No,
you
I
brought it
brought
up.
Netanyahu.
No, you brought up how Brad's an anti-Semite,
I brought up
Netanyahu
Netanyahu.
and
I didn't
Israel,
bring Jews. Why are
and
we
how
talking
much
about
you
Jews?
hate the Jews.
Why are we talking about Jews?
Because you brought up the fact that, well, not the fact, but you brought up that Brad was anti-Semitic, so that's how we got
And then Othello, you went into a rant about how you want to kill all the Jews.
He said that China told him about America and Israel, and then he wanted to go off on Israel's policies.
Look at Stig sitting in the back.
And again, the gay laugh really.
Everybody in the audience remember what I just said and spread the word far and wide.
Shit, if you can make baseless claims against Brad, why are you gonna get mad when someone does the same?
It's not baseless. It's not baseless. Oh,
you haven't provided any evidence, so
okay.
Dude, me saying, dude, I have told Jews, like, dude, every time you open your mouth, you just create another anti-Semite, dude, because, like, you're just a whiny, bitch that just, like, tries to shut down speech by saying, no, that's offensive, that's anti-Semitic, you know, you get some Jews that are, like, really fucking whiny, and
We do feel that way about
really
the
bad
French
look.
after meeting Pepe, though.
I don't feel that way.
Wait, did you just say they were the French Jews?
I don't feel that way. They have a right to speak out against people.
If Richard said they were the French Jews, I'm going to give you that one because that one might be true.
Just because I want to deflect
I
the
think
point.
Pepe is.
Stop it.
I'm not Jewish.
You know your DNA?
My brothers have. There's literally 0%.
Only goes back 6 generations.
Well, I don't know what to say.
No, you just act Jewish. That's all.
Amazing.
But I do think you talked
You're
about
more
Jews
bitchy than
too
Mel.
much. I do think he talks. I agree with Cleto. He does talk about Jewish people too much. If anyone should be talking about it, should be me. But I don't even talk about it that much.
Who's talking?
You do. You do whine. You do whine. You do whine.
What did I say about Jews?
Well, for one, you said you're going to bring them into. You're going to bring all these tapes for these imaginary rooms where Brad was talking.
What's wrong with talking about Jews though? What's wrong with that?
Look, Connie, you playing that game too? Come on, they got you up to this too.
Well, no, we don't mind if people talk shit about Jews. It's Odell's claiming.
Yeah, you can talk shit about them all you want. You can talk shit about them all you want.
Yeah, just be honest.
Okay, all right.
You can talk shit about them all you want, but it's like if it's not like if we're having a conversation about something totally unrelated, and then somebody just uses an excuse to bring up Jews, it's like, yeah.
Okay, Thug, imagine Pepe stood up here right now and said that he's never said the N-word. Would you crash out on him?
Nah, because I know it's not true.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're doing with Othello. Othello's like, I love the Jews, but he spits in their face all the time.
You got any proof of that?
Yeah, your words.
Okay, my words about Netanyahu.
No, your Israel Gaza genocide of the Palestinians and
Netanyahu
crimes.
represent all Jews.
Oh God, you're so annoying, Othello.
There we go.
No, he doesn't represent all Jews everywhere.
Go back into your rat cave.
That's the dumbest fucking take ever. He does not represent all Jews. Why? If he did, why was half of the country protesting?
Exactly.
You dumb motherfucker.
Ooh, you hit it right on the nail, Brad.
I knew it. Like I'm just done with the whole like.
Hey, Brad,
yeah,
you think it's
you know what? You know what pisses me off about this the most is it fucking cuckolds like you who fucking want to cry about the Jews, and then you're like on your knees. The Jews are taken away. I blame the Jews. The Jews are the source of everything wrong in the world. My life would be perfectly fine without X group. That's what you tell people, and that's the problem you have. And then you're going to cry that, oh, it's racism. White people sat there and said, you know what, my country would be better without black men screaming about Jews. You would have a fucking conniption. You would be crying. But you have no problem, no composure to sit there and do the same thing back. And you know what? Go ahead. I'm done defending fucking dumb fucking ideas and giving people voices. I think you need to be silent. I'm hoping there's a law that comes out there and jails you. Go ahead. Bring whatever recording you want. I'm not for anything that you said.
Yes, sir. Don't play that game with me.
Play whatever game you want to. I'm not your buddy.
Brad, do you think it's anti-Semitic to blame everything in the entire world on the Jews?
Yeah.
I'm your worst nightmare, Brad.
Sounds like
Don't
Odell.
ever play with
Dude, you're not. A gay black man is not my worst nightmare. A gay black man that
this is getting old.
China is not my worst nightmare. A gay black man who lives on his knees in his mom's basement is not my worst nightmare.
I'm not. Okay, all right. Like, Othello, shut up. Holy shit.
That's a good boy.
So, yeah, I guess, we have the free speech, conversation. What else is there?
Yeah, how we're afraid of gay black men.
So, I mean, I do think it's funny, people kind of, trying to recycle old content on this, on this app. We all know who the king of the white identitarian clubhouse was, and that was me, obviously.
Was, I think you still are, man.
Yeah.
Wait, has JB came in?
Is it okay to be proud to be white? Gay? I mean,
you might have to step up your game though, Pepe. Just because it's about to set up, so you're gonna have to step up a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, fine, fuck it. I don't know. I mean, if other people see themselves as a community, this is how I look at it. Actually, let me change something real quick.
Ooh, Abby's here. Bring Abby up.
Amazing. Well, I'm just curious.
Oh, she's in a press conference.
No, I think maybe she's saying
Guys,
that there
the
is a press conference.
just started. Yeah.
For what?
They're announcing the charges. It's in Utah. It's a district attorney from the county now speaking. I don't know how to stream. You guys know how to do that. You might want to stream it.
Let me see if I can find it live.
Try Fox.
Haven't they already said what they're going to charge him with, or no?
Yeah, that's what they're saying now.
Aggravated murder or something.
Well, they're going to announce it.
Oh, while we're waiting on that, Abby, have you ever heard anything that Othello said that can be considered anti-Semitic?
It's like every second sentence. The Jew hatred should be his middle name. All right, guys, I'm going back to the press conference.
You just got drunk by Abby. Oh, sweet.
Let me see if I can stream the press conference. Oh, here it is. I'll stream it.
Is that PP?
It's PP.
What press conference is that?
The one. The one about they're going to announce the charges.
County DA. It's state charges right now. It's the county DA.
The state charges on the guy that
As county attorney, I am charged with bringing justice to those who offend our laws. I am charged with bringing justice for those who are harmed. I am charged with bringing justice for Charlie Kirk. I am committed to these aims. I take this responsibility seriously. Today, after reviewing the evidence that law enforcement has collected thus far, I am filing a criminal information charging Tyler James Robinson, age 22, with the following crimes. Count 1, aggravated murder, a capital offense for intentionally or knowingly causing the death of Charlie Kirk under circumstances that created a great risk of death to others. Count 2, felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, a first-degree felony. The state is further alleging aggravating factors on counts 1 and 2 because the defendant is believed to have targeted Charlie Kirk based on Charlie Kirk's political expression and did so knowing that children were present and would witness the homicide. The state is also charging defendant with count 3, obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony for moving and concealing the rifle used in the shooting. Count 4, obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony for disposing the clothing he wore during the shooting. Count 5, witness tampering, a third-degree felony for directing his roommate to delete his incriminating text. Count 6, witness tampering, a third-degree felony for directing his roommate to stay silent if police questioned him. And count 7, commission of a violent offense in the presence of a child, a Class A misdemeanor, for committing homicide knowing that children were present and may have seen or heard the murder and did so based on Charlie Kirk's political expression. Also, following the press conference, I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. I do not take this decision lightly, and it is a decision I have made independently as county attorney, based solely on the available evidence and circumstances and nature of the crime. Because we are seeking the death penalty, the defendant will continue to be held without bail in the Utah County Jail. Turning to the 10-page information, these are the allegations. On September 10th, 2025, at approximately 12:23 p.m., Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while speaking to a large crowd on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Police found the suspected murder weapon, a bolt-action 30-06 rifle, nearby. Over the next approximately 33 hours, police conducted a manhunt for the shooter until the evening of September 11th, 2025, when Tyler James Robinson surrendered to police at the Washington County Sheriff's Office. DNA consistent with Robinson was found on the rifle's trigger. After shooting Mr. Kirk, Robinson hid the gun, discarded the clothing he wore when he fired the rifle, and told his roommate to delete incriminating text messages and not talk to police. Children were present at the time of the shooting. The shooting. Turning Point USA, a nonprofit organization founded in 2012 by Charlie Kirk, organized a public outdoor event to be held at noon on September 10th, 2025 at UVU. The event was the first in a series of similar events to be held at college campuses nationwide. Mr. Kirk is a well-known conservative activist, famous for these type of events where he discusses various political issues and debates with audience members. His events and comments have garnered a significant number of supporters and drawn the ire of many who disagree with his political views. The event at UVU was announced far in advance and garnered significant publicity and interest. Consequently, several hundred people attended. Mr. Kirk was interacting with the crowd before the event officially got underway. Then, at approximately noon, Mr. Kirk seated himself under a portable canopy behind a table and microphone. He began speaking to the crowd and fielding questions from attendees, a format Mr. Kirk commonly used at his events. Mr. Kirk allowed his questioners to approach a microphone positioned directly in front of him. Mr. Kirk's team members were very close to him on his right and left, as well as some behind his canopy and others at various close locations near him. The large crowd surrounded Mr. Kirk on three sides. Temporary metal fencing separated attendees from Mr. Kirk by only a matter of feet. Directly above and behind Mr. Kirk was the UVU Hall of Flags, an indoor walkway spanning several hundred feet with floor-to-ceiling glass windows which overlooked the plaza where Mr. Kirk was seated. People were in the walkway at the time of the shooting. Approximately 15 minutes into the event, Mr. Kirk was answering a question about mass shootings by transgender individuals when a gunshot rang out. The bullet struck Mr. Kirk in the neck. He slumped to the ground almost immediately. The bullet's trajectory passed closely to several other individuals beside Mr. Kirk, including the questioner who was standing directly in front of Mr. Kirk. Children were visible near Mr. Kirk's stage when he was shot. Mr. Kirk was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was declared deceased. The medical examiner's report is still pending. So UVU surveillance. So at the moment of the shot, a UVU police officer was watching the crowd from an elevated vantage point. As soon as he heard the shot, he began to scan the area for threats. Believing the shot came from a rifle because of its sound, he looked for potential sniper positions. He noted a roof area approximately 160 yards away from Mr. Kirk as a potential shooting position and rushed there to look for evidence. The suspected shooting position is adjacent to an open, publicly accessible walkway. To access the suspected location, a person must climb over a railing and then drop to the roof only slightly below. The UV officer climbed over the railing and down onto the roof. He then walked to the suspected shooting position and confirmed a clear shooting corridor between the position and Mr. Kirk's seat. He also noticed markings in the gravel rooftop, consistent with a sniper having lain on the roof, impressions in the gravel potentially left by the elbows, knees, and feet of a person in a prone shooting position. Police reviewed surveillance from the camera covering the roof and discovered that it recorded an individual dressed in dark clothing cross the railing from the public walkway and drop onto the roof at approximately 12:15 p.m. Although the individual moved out of the camera's view for a short time, the camera again captured the individual running across the roof and then low crawling to the area the UVU officer recognized as where the suspected sniper had dropped into a prone shooting position. After a short time, which matches the known time of the shot, the individual arose and ran across the roof to the northeast. This discovery led to an intensive review of UVU surveillance recordings to attempt to track and identify the suspect. Surveillance revealed the following. At approximately 11:51 a.m., the suspect entered campus from the north. He is seen wearing a black shirt with an American flag in the center, a dark baseball cap, and large sunglasses. Throughout the surveillance, the suspect keeps his head down and rarely raises his head enough to get a clear image of his face. As he proceeds across the campus, he is seen walking with an unusual gait. The suspect walks with very little bending in his right leg, consistent with a rifle being hidden in his pants. This unusual gait continues until the suspect is seen crossing the railway off the open walkway and onto the roof, where he leaves the camera's view. A camera later captures the suspect as he runs across the roof to the suspected shooting position. Immediately after the shot was fired, a camera captures the suspect running across the roof carrying an item whose shape is consistent with a rifle. The suspect is then seen climbing down from the roof. He appears to drop the item he was carrying as he hits the ground in a control. He then picks up the item and runs toward the northeast end of campus. Expanded crime scene investigation. Law enforcement officers followed the suspect's escape path northeast end of campus, where they believe the suspect left camp and entered a wooded area. In that wooded area, investigators found a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a towel. The rifle contained one spent round and 3 unspent rounds. This is consistent with the facts officers observed at the time of and immediately after the shootings. No shell casings were found on the roof, suggesting a bolt action rather than an auto-loading weapon, and only a single round was fired. Each round in the rifle contained an etched inscription as follows. The fired cartridge was etched, Notices Bulge, OWO, what's this? The second cartridge that was again not spent. The last 3 were not spent, were not fired. The second, hey fascist, catch with arrow symbols. The third cartridge, oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow. The fourth cartridge, if you read this, you are gay, LMAO. The rifle, ammunition rounds, and towel were sent for forensic processing. DNA consistent with defendant was found on the trigger, other parts of the rifle, the fired cartridge casing, 2 of the 3 unfired cartridges, and the towel. Law was unable to immediately locate the shooter. So they published photos that are from the UVU surveillance cameras and asked for the public's help to identify him. Meanwhile, law enforcement continued to try to identify the shooter through other means. The Washington County investigation. On the evening of September 11th, 2025, as law enforcement continued their investigation, Tyler James Robinson went to the Washington County Sheriff's Office with his parents and a family friend to turn himself in. Robinson's mother stated that the following to police. On September 11th, 2025, the day after the shooting, Robinson's mother saw the photo of the shooter in the news and thought the shooter looked like her son. Robinson's mother called her son and asked him where he was. He said he was at home sick and that he had also been at homesick on September 10th. Robinson's mother expressed concern to her husband that the suspect shooter looked like Robinson. Robinson's father agreed. Robinson's mother explained that over the last year or so, Robinson had become more political and had started to lean more to the left, becoming more pro-gay and trans rights oriented. She stated that Robinson began to date his roommate, a biological male who was transitioning genders. This resulted in several discussions with family members, but especially between Robinson and his father, who have very different political views. In one conversation before the shooting, Robinson mentioned that Charlie Kirk would be holding an event at UVU, which Robinson said was a stupid venue for the event. Robinson accused Kirk of spreading hate. Robinson's father reported that when his wife showed him the surveillance image of the suspected shooter in the news, he agreed that it looked like their son. He also believed that the rifle that police suspected the shooter used matched a rifle that was given to his son as a gift. As a result, Robinson's father contacted his son and asked him to send a photo of the rifle. Robinson did not respond. However, Robinson's father spoke on the phone with Robinson. Robinson implied that he planned to take his own life. Robinson's parents were able to convince him to meet at their home. As they discussed the situation, Robinson implied that he was the shooter and stated that he couldn't go to jail and just wanted to end it. When asked why he did it, Robinson explained there is too much evil and the guy, referring to Charlie Kirk, spreads too much hate. They talked about Robinson turning himself in and convinced Robinson to speak with a family friend who is a retired deputy sheriff. At Robinson's father's request, the family friend met with Robinson and his parents and convinced Robinson to turn himself in. The family friend spoke to police and reported telling Robinson that it would be best if he brought all evidence with him to the sheriff's office to avoid police having to search his parents' home. The friend also asked Robinson if he had any clothes that were related to what he did. Robinson replied that he had disposed of the clothes in different areas. The roommate. Police interviewed Robinson's roommate, a biological male who is was involved in a romantic relationship with Robinson. The roommate told police that the roommate received messages from Robinson about the shooting, and he did provide those messages to police. On September 10th, 2025, the roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Police found a photograph of this note. The following text exchange, then took place. After reading the note, the roommate responded, "What? You're joking, right?" Robinson, "I am still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you." Roommate, "You weren't the one who did it, right?" Robinson, I am. I'm sorry." Roommate, "I thought they caught the person." Robinson, "No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering." Roommate, "Why?" Robinson, "Why did I do it?" Roommate, "Yeah." Robinson, "I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it." Roommate, "How long have you been planning this?" Robinson, "A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it." Robinson again, "I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. IDEK if it's had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints I had it in a bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the F will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets? The F in messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notice bulge UWU on Fox News, I might have a stroke, all right. I'm going to have to leave it. That really effing sucks. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine, IDK. I think that was a $2K scope. Wink, wink. Robinson again. Delete this exchange. Again, Robinson. My dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it is very unique. He's calling me, RN. Not answering. Robinson. Since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. Robinson, I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy for the sheriff. Again, you are all I worry about, love. That came from Robinson. Roommate, I'm much more worried about you. Robinson, don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. The search for Robinson's residence. Police executed a search warrant on Robinson's residence. During that search, police discovered a shell casing with etchings like the etchings found on the shells in the rifle near UVU. Police also found several target boards with bullet holes in Robinson's home. Now, as I stated in the beginning, when I read those allegations, these are allegations. And like the evidence set forth in this statement, those allegations, what you've heard from the media, even from state and federal officials, has not been tested in the crucible of a jury trial. I understand the public's desire to know the facts. My own family members have pressed me for information. Why are we reluctant to share the details of the investigation itself and comment on the case? Because I want to ensure a fair and impartial trial. I became a prosecutor because of my love for the ideals of this great country and the principles embedded in our Constitution. The free exchange of ideas and opinions is critical to this great American experiment, but so too are the protections afforded to the accused found in the Fifth and Sixth Amendments. The right against self-incrimination, the right to a speedy and public trial, the right to the effective assistance of counsel, the right to confront one's accusers, and the right to compel the attendance of witnesses. And perhaps most importantly, under our Constitution, the accused is presumed innocent until we, the state, prove to an impartial jury of defendant's peers his guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. That jury cannot rely on our allegations, on what they hear in the news, or on what they hear from a public official. The jury is the sole trier of fact, and they will ultimately determine those facts based on evidence a trial judge has determined is admissible. Again, as prosecutors, we bear the burden to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. But make no mistake, we welcome this burden. I'd like to now introduce my trial team who will be charged with prosecuting the case. This is a veteran and expert team of some of the state's best trial attorneys. Chad Grunander, who is one of my two chief deputies, Ryan McBride, and David Sturgill on the far right there. And those two were very much involved in preparing search warrants, did a phenomenal job, worked day and night to see that accomplished well after Robinson was taken into custody. Also, Lauren Hunt, she's one of our special victims prosecutors, and Chris Ballard, my second chief deputy, who will be handling motions. I'm going to explain just the procedural steps. We're not a grand jury. We don't have a grand jury system like the federal courts do. It's a preliminary hearing system. So the arrest and filing of the criminal information are merely the first steps in the criminal justice process. Today at 3 p.m., the defendant will appear before a judge in the Utah 4th District Court for his first appearance to be informed of these charges and to ensure that he has an attorney to represent him. The hearing will be brief. The judge will conduct that first appearance virtually via WebEx. This is not unusual. In the 4th District, all felony first appearances for defendants who are in custody are held virtually. A link to that hearing is available for media on the Utah State Court's X account at Utah State Courts. Now, following defendant's first appearance, he will be entitled to a preliminary hearing. At that hearing, the state will be required to show probable cause that defendant committed the crimes. The purpose of the preliminary hearing is not to determine guilt, but simply to assure the court that the prosecution has enough evidence to proceed to trial. If a judge finds probable cause and binds the case over for trial, an arraignment hearing will be held. At that hearing, a judge will again inform defendant of the charges against him and require him to enter a plea to each charge. The next step following the arraignment is an opportunity for the parties to file any relevant motions and then ultimately the trial itself. This case has generated a tremendous amount of interest across our nation and even the world. The public's desire for information is understandable, but it bears reiterating that this case will be tried in a court of law consistent with our Constitution, not the court of public opinion. Thus, we will only discuss the case with the press occasionally. It will not be a day-to-day or even week-to-week occurrence, but we will only do so in a manner as not to jeopardize the fair trial process. Before I conclude, I want to express my appreciation for the tireless work of our local, state, and federal law enforcement officers. They have an extremely difficult, dangerous, and often thankless job. I'm proud to acknowledge the exceptional work they do every day, and particularly their work on this case. It was truly a marvel to witness. Their skilled work and dedication have brought us to this point. I'm also grateful for the leadership demonstrated by Bo Mason, the Commissioner of the Utah Department of Public Safety. FBI.
Well, I guess he's just thanking people now, but holy shit. Sounds like he, wow. They got him. I mean, it's a whole lot of evidence.
Sounds like they got the leftist gay guy that everyone suspected and that everyone said. Looks like it turned out to be true.
Yep.
Literally.
It wasn't a groiper. It was somebody who, like they said, the family, he had the text messages. This guy was a homosexual. Wow. So all of you people, we just got the receipts. It's not a groiper. It's not the first right. You know, I know there's at least one retard in here who was trying to say that, but he just dropped the receipts. This is a far left fag that was very angry because Charlie was a Christian and liked to say how it is sinful to engage in sodomy. He didn't make it a sin. It's already a sin. He's not Jesus. He can't decide whether or not it's a sin, but it is a sinful, and people are mad about that.
They didn't
and
say
so
he was
somebody
a
shot him.
leftist. They didn't say he was a leftist. They said
Yes, they did.
Moving more left.
Oh, you're
Well,
such a
geez.
dumbass.
Yeah, See, but hold on, guys. This is an amazing case study, and some of you guys already know this too. For the last several years, I'm talking about probably a decade, these people are just detached from reality. You cannot get them to move or change their fucking mind, no matter how deep or credible the information is. There's nothing going to change them. They want to believe what they believe. That's it. So this fucker is going to leave, like a great deal of left, is going to leave, not changing their mind. They don't give a fuck. The conspiracy theories and the made up belief is more valuable than actual proof and evidence. Go fuck yourself, Othello.
They said he was moving more left.
They said the same shit.
This has nothing to do with white supremacy.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It took 1 year.
Has everything to do with it.
As the father said, it took 1 year of his son becoming more left-wing for him to say, I'm willing to commit extremism, murder, assassination.
White supremacists.
Tell me one goiper, right? Because everyone said it was a goiper. Tell me one time a goiper killed someone.
The groypers they're not racist. The groypers are not racist.
Yes, they are, you fucking idiot. I literally have been talking to them for fucking years in private chats. Like, Jesus Christ, they are absolutely fucking racist. Like, you're so stupid.
PP, what's up? PP, what's a groiper?
It's a follower of Nick Fuentes. They're
they
part of
are
the America
racist.
First pack.
Look it up.
Yeah, they are definitely racist. But I mean, here's the thing though. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, the racism thing, that's a white issue. You guys got to reconcile that shit. Your children are going to hate you for it. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter, left or right. They don't like niggas. And after the situation, guess what? There were threats to HBCUs, and now you black guy in a fucking tree at a college campus.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? A black person hangs himself from a fucking tree?
Listen, check this out.
It's look at it like a obvious game. We're not even talking about that shit. Hold on, he just played a whole press conference. He won't say nothing about it.
It's the issue. It's ironic that shit comes on the heels of white America's backlash to black Americans' approval of what the fuck happened.
No one gives a fuck about that situation. No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck.
There's even black Americans. There's even black Americans that don't even know what happened, right?
Idiot. No one gives a fuck about that.
You know how many?
You just get emotionally triggered. I literally said there are black Americans that don't even approve of that.
Nothing to do with this. You just heard the DA talk.
Listen, dude. Listen, I don't care. I mean, you guys kill each other all the time, just like we kill each other.
You
don't want to deal with the issue of racism, but this is what Charlie Kirk was built on.
This isn't racist. Shove your ignorance.
It absolutely is, and you will reconcile with it. The thing is, we don't have to make you do it. Your children.
No, it's not. It wasn't racism because. Hold on a second. No, this is bullshit.
What's up?
So, okay, hold on, Sean B. So, no, this is bullshit because, first of all, I made fun of Charlie Kirk all the time. I thought he was a Zionist cuck. I thought he never went hard enough when it comes to like white identity. There's a lot of things. I mean, not a lot of things, but there's things I definitely I felt a certain way about him, and there was other conservatives that did as well. Now,
I never heard you talk shit about him.
Well, I didn't really. He never really came up.
We've been on the app. I mean, we've been on the app like 4 fucking years ago. Like, I never heard you say shit about him.
Sure.
Can I chime in real quick?
Yeah, you can go right after me.
Yeah,
so
go ahead, Ben.
I was gonna say, but he was not a fucking racist. That was why people further on the right criticized him. To sit here and say he stands on racism and all of this shit, no, he didn't. But because he could mention, some things that it might offend the sensibilities of sensitive, fragile, black people. Okay, I mean that doesn't make you racist at the end of the day.
He had to clean it up because he's on the list.
No.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I can play the sound bite, bro.
Okay, cool.
Well, go ahead, Othello.
Yeah, he had to clean it up.
But no, shut the fuck up, Othello. Adrian gets to go.
Yeah. I just have a couple questions, man. Like, well, for one, since when did Groypers, become, when did Groypers get into relationships with trans people, or even cohabitate with trans people?
I can show you a link where right wing
they still listen to start talking.
Time.
That wasn't a cue to start talking.
Trans porn.
Othello, shut the fuck up and let Adrian finish.
This is crazy.
People like him are like why people become like. There's no way. I want to call him the N-word, because that's exactly how he behaves. And I'm not the one who moved you down. Like, you make people racist. Kind of like how Brad made that comment about how, you look bad you make Jews look bad. You just make black people look bad. You're very obnoxious. But go ahead, Adrian.
Yeah. Since when did Groypers become sympathizers of trans people and their issues? Never known that to happen. To about the HBCU shit. How do y'all even know those white people that was making those threats? Right? Because we do know that there are some black people out here that will stage a hate crime to make it seem like white people did it. There are thousands of documented cases. I mean, shit, one of the most famous ones was Justice Smollett. He staged a goddamn fake hate crime. And a lot of people know that shit. Another thing with the HBCU shit. We don't even have any credible outlets reporting on this. We just see people online saying this shit. And it's just a narrative that is running. Right? We don't even know that these are white people or anyone has been charged for this shit, for making these threats against HBCUs. And another thing, black people, if we're gonna say,
Jesus, dude,
hey y'all, get the fuck out of the way, These white people fighting with each other. This is not our fight. Well, then you need to keep that same energy and stay out of it and stop antagonizing the shit then. Because once you become an instigator of some shit that has nothing to do with you, you can't get mad when you get popped in the mouth. You can't go screaming victim. Now that, oh, they're making threats against HBCUs. Well, I thought y'all said stay the fuck out of white people's business. Okay, cool. You can't play the instigator and a victim at the same time, black people. Y'all gotta stop doing that shit. If you gonna stay out of it, bruh, you need to chill. If you gonna say stay out of it, then stay all the way the fuck up out of it then. Don't say shit about it then. Mind your fucking business. And the last thing. Black people being hung right now, guess what? Y'all can't say that that's white people doing it if y'all don't have any fucking proof. Because honestly, me coming from the community that I came from, the activist community here in Ferguson, look up a woman by the name of Melissa McKinnon. I know her personally. Her son hung himself from a tree in their yard. And motherfuckers went and blamed white people and said this was a racist attack when really he was fucking mentally unstable and he killed himself. They tried to blame white people because they couldn't grasp the idea that this nigga killed his fucking self. So y'all gotta stop this bullshit if you don't have fucking proof of blaming white people for the suicide of a mentally ill or mentally unstable black person. Because we don't talk about mental health issues in the black community enough. So because he's hung himself, that does not mean that a fucking white person did that shit. And y'all gotta stop pushing that goddamn narrative. Nah, I'm done.
Also, on the HBCU things, a lot of people are conflating things because what happened prior to that was a young girl who was stabbed on a subway by a black man who said, and I quote, "I got that white bitch." So there's a lot of things that are going through, like the protest in San Francisco was actually organized and orchestrated on the foundations of the poor little
right. He got dealt with, right?
Who got dealt with?
Yeah.
Who
The
got
guy that did the shit on this
he's out free right now.
The Clover Brown, he's in custody. That's all.
He got arrested.
No, he's in a. So for those of you who don't know, if you're in county jail, you go to a county medical facility, and if you go to the county psychiatric hospital, which I'm sure that's where he is, those are locked down like a jail. You can't have like a phone. You can't. It's basically super secure.
You're not roaming the street.
Yeah.
So how is that out free, Brad?
I wanted him in prison.
Brad doesn't fucking
on a toilet and share showers with a bunch of other people. I wanted him to be getting cornholes.
Yeah, the only problem with that is that when you have a diagnosis like schizophrenia, which he already has, in order for there to even be a trial, they have to do their best to restore him to competency. Otherwise, what will happen is if he's found not competent to stand trial, they won't try him. And then they end up having to civilly, because he poses a danger to the public, he would get civilly committed to a state hospital, which he could end up there for the rest of his life. So that's why they have to do it.